Good afternoon, good morning, and for some of you, good night, everyone. Today I'm here with Titanfire. Please, Titanfire, say hi to our viewers.
Good evening, folks.
Good evening, mate. We are getting ready, as you all know. We are getting ready for this semi-final match between ETF, who we have on the left screen, with one mercenary who is Kit from Bravo team, and the right screen we have 104th Phoenix VT. Cannot even remember. 104th Phoenix. So guys, of course, we are on the semi-finals. That means that both teams know how to do their thing. They are very proficient. We can expect a very good fight tonight, and for sure we'll be having lots of fun. Of course, both teams are almost ready to take off. Of course, we've seen one disconnect from ETF side. I mean, Riker. And just for all of you who doesn't know, Riker, who is one of the 14th pilots for ETF side, because I was talking with him after the previous match, and funnily enough, he's on the countryside of Spain, connecting to internet and flying with a gas generator. So yeah, that's why we are seeing Riker get disconnected so often. Of course, I hope that it doesn't impede ETF in any sense, as in get everyone disconnected. So far, they haven't had any kind of problem with that. I hope that doesn't happen for them, because if not, as we all know, and Titanfire can confirm, being a 5 against 6 situation even before the start of the fight is a very hard start for a team.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, we say a lot during this tournament that the first kill can often be quite important, because it just shakes the plan and the kind of almost the confidence of the team on the receiving end, especially if it's one of those long-range ones you don't expect, and teams have to recover quite quickly. So that sort of initial advantage right out of the gate definitely is not to be underestimated. But of course, Riker is going to reconnect. ETF have called not ready again now, so we will just wait. There will be a Tomcat INS alignment, and then a few minutes from now we'll be good to go again.
That's it. Sorry for the camera moving, guys. I was just checking with the teams. So in between that, we are waiting for Riker to reconnect and sort out his connection issues with his gas-powered electricity in the middle of the rural Spain. We'll be using this opportunity to present both teams. So first we are going to present ETF team. Of course, we all know them for the previous matches. They've been having a very nice tournament altogether. They are a very consistent team. This is the second match I'm going to be doing cast for them. So I've seen them previously. I also flown as a mercenary for Alamo team in their first match, and all this tournament I've been seeing them flying almost the same, but just adding little variations to the mix, enough so it makes enough difference to get them up to this point in the tournament. So for all of you guys who don't know ETF, they are a team formed mostly from members from US, Europe, and a few from Pakistan and Australia. And by the way, we have a woman between the lines, and if I recall correctly, she was DC. That's it. This team was formed on February 2020, so it's a very new team, and they do have experience in competitive areas in Seccond 2020 Diamond League, Gold League, and GTAC 2-against-2. Of course, these guys, what most enjoy about these kind of tournaments is that putting the work to achieve their goal, which is winning, and they also love the thrill of competing, and there is nothing else in this year's for them. In the right screen, we have 104th. That this team consists of members from all around the world, as far as New Zealand, Australia, to Europe and North America. So I'm only thinking of doing a mission all together seems like a very big problem to sort out the time schedule for it for real. Of course, 104th has been formed in 2006 and is one of the longest running squadrons in DCS and has a proud heritage in competitive PvP flying, as well as providing a dedicated server for the public fly and for well over 10 years. So that's a lot of time. These guys has also a lot of experience in PvP. They've been flying, they've secured first place on 𝐶TAC tournament and several top 3 finishes on 𝐶TAL. They have also hosted many large-scale competitive PvP events for community, featuring large A-scale battles that are open to all squadron and non-wolves. This squadron takes a lot of pride in its history and its core values of excellence and integrity, with a strong roster of experienced pilots, some of whom have been members for 104th for over 10 years. And they're looking forward to the future and developing the in-house talent that they have on board, with younger pilots to keep the squadron at the front line of the PvP community. So of course, as the Ekman Jones says, someone has to send some Starlink to Riker, I'm afraid, but that's something that he will need to sort out for the future tournament. That I don't know if you know Titanfire, but TACT21-2 has already been confirmed by 64th Squadron, though.
Yeah, I heard that in I think it was one of your previous or most recent streams that you were talking about it. Exciting, absolutely exciting. You know, we've said a number of times throughout this competition that the format has been great. It's been open to a lot of new squadrons and people with squadrons we've not seen of or known of before, and we've got to know them and, you know, see them fly and compete. And I think we'll just see that grow with TACT21-2 and hopefully more TACTs beyond.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Of course, this first iteration of this competition, it has been a blast for all participants. I mean, 64th has managed to put out a good environment, so the work could be done for all the squadrons and us, the hosts for the events. I mean, of course, 64th Squadron has managed to put up such a... Oh, thank you for the cheers, full cookie. Thank you, mate. So 64 has managed to put up such a good environment that the event has been carrying on almost by itself, with not many work done after the initial commitment and organization that has to be done by 64 Squadron. That says something about organizing events. It's not simple to make an event organization simple, for reals. I know about one or two things.
It really isn't, you know. They take an awful lot of time and effort and coordination, and the fact that all the squadrons in the community have kind of gotten so good at this point, actually, of, you know, making it not require a lot of ongoing effort. I think it's a testament to everybody taking part.
That's it for sure. Of course, we see that Riker, since that his connection has come back and his gas, I mean his English, sorry, I should say correctly, not gas, his petrol generator is back online. He's back online, and seeing that we are going to be almost ready.
Mm-hmm. Both squadrons have called ready again, so at your request, I'll give them a countdown.
Okay, so please, Titanfire, give them the go. Countdown starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, go, go! Round 1, it's alive, gents! So in the meantime, we are waiting for both teams to get up in the air and get running. And of course, we'll be seeing how the formation goes inside the bubble. We were talking before the event started that we were expecting ETF to go with the sub formation that they are used to do, as in 117 and 18 to the left, 117 and 18 to the right, have the two Tomcats on the back, just providing coverage for both teams. And I don't know much about 104th because I haven't had the opportunity to watch many of the stream about them. I didn't have the time this week to prepare for the match. So if
I think you can see anything really coming out from the 104th here, but I think you'll probably see initially, you know, fairly, I don't want to say fairly standard, but not in a derogatory term, but kind of a grinder would be the normal tactic you would see the 104th go for. And I would be surprised if we didn't see that, at least initially. You know, as with any DCS match, the grinders don't tend to last very long and they get broken down. So, you know, this initially is as we can guess on. So the 104th are finally rolling here at 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄. It has taken them a little bit.
Yeah, I saw that they were still rearming. I mean, for all of you viewers who have to join up, we have, as usually happens with Riker, to get disconnected with the situation and such. So it took a few more minutes. Of course, 104th, he decided to rearm and refuel to get the fuel topped off. Of course, this competition we've been seeing all along that it's not only about pilots' abilities, that is very important, but also about missile economy and also about fuel economy. When you have leveled out levels for both teams, then that's the decisive factor. What your tactics, those tactics that you employ for the tournament, they decide those situations. How you are going to develop your fuel, how many missiles you're going to spend, and that makes the win or lose for these kind of matches for sure.
Yeah, very good point again, Liberator. I think that's a good segue into loadouts for the aircraft. So we have 2 Hornets and 2 Jeffs on the ETF side. The Hornets are taking all the AMRAAMs, and I know that Bravo Kit, Mark helping ETF out here, actually has sacrificed 1 AMRAAM for a TGP. So he's carrying, if my maths are right, 9 AMRAAMs and 1 TGP in a single bag. And the other Hornet and ETF, Nate Dog, is then carrying, I believe, all the AMRAAMs, so 10 AMRAAMs, 1 bag. And over on the 104th side, they're going for a double ugly configuration on the Hornet at the back, 104th Maverick. So that is, I think I'm right in saying, 8 AMRAAMs, 2 bags. And we have a TACT Seccond here. I think I'm right in saying that 104th Mogas has taken a single Sidewinder on his Viper. The standard loadout we've seen on the Vipers throughout TACT has been all AMRAAMs, so 6 AMRAAMs, 3 bags. 104th Morgas opting for 5 AMRAAMs and a Sidewinder. That'll be a 9 mic, of course.
Yeah, but that's an interesting decision. I mean, we've been seeing that these teams, that they know what they are doing and they have a lot of experience and know how to defend and know those 120s. They get into close combat. Sorry guys, into close combat more often than not. So that's a very interesting decision to see. I mean, one that you can expect to do, and it's a very interesting one, but that one that we haven't seen anytime before in this event.
Yeah, I think it was possibly the last match that I covered myself. I did see 1 Viper take a single 9 mic, so single Sidewinder. And at the time, I was doing that stream with 104th Bullet on co-hosting, and we both remarked that this was, to our knowledge, attacked first. So hence I'm calling it attacked second tonight.
Yeah, sure. So let us check the formation. We see that in the right screen, we see that the ETF has decided to go for the standard. 2 left, 2 right, 14s on the back. 14s on the back are just 25 miles away and spread between the front runners are 30 miles out. And let us check on the left screen situation with 104th. 104th seems to be having 4 plane formation on front, 2 16 on the front, followed by 2 more 16s, and the back they are running with Willy and Maverick on the back for coverage. But at least that's what it seems.
Yeah, I'm expecting the 104th to play very cautiously here throughout TACT, having watched over a number of their matches previously. I may get some of the details wrong because it's mostly from memory. I'm afraid, like yourself, I haven't been able to actually rewatch a lot of them this week. But they've been very cautious, and certainly in their quarter-final match against the number 15 Battle Axes were incredibly cautious. In fact, both sides in that quarter-final match were standing off quite a bit, and it took a long time to get into the nitty-gritty of the fight. So I would expect we will see that here, and certainly with 2 Tomcats on the ETF side, the 104th will probably stand back and just preemptively notch quite a bit. They will expect long-range Phoenixes, so we'll see what happens there.
Well, that's the thing. We've seen that 14 has been doing a very good job, as in the first moment of the fight, to put them in defensive situation, to make the other team to defend and such. But we have, I mean, I remember. Of course, I'm going to say something about for tomorrow. Titanfire will be streaming the other semi-final match. Who were the fighters? Sorry, can you remind me?
Yeah, PTF, Phoenix Task Force, are taking on TOL, the Art of Warfare, in the second semi-final match tomorrow.
Okay, and tomorrow before the stream, please guys jump into Titanfire stream as soon as possible, because he has lots of information about the teams and who and what you should look for the fight, because he's been working his ass off to make the tomorrow stream for him make it the best he's done. So guys, for tomorrow, please guys, for reals, hop into Titanfire stream. You'll be having a blast of all the information and in and outs he has prepared for it.
Hopefully you're not picking that up too much now, but I do intend bringing the stream up about 20 to 30 minutes before the match starts itself for that little bit of pre-game analysis. So look out for that kind of 18:30 Zulu onwards matches, hopefully 1900 Zulu like this one.
So guys, now you know, hop into tomorrow's stream, but for now we have today's. And we are seeing that right now we have ETF that has gone for what we expected. And Wonderful is still flying all bunch together. I mean, the separation between the front rows and the last Maverick is just 15 miles out. No, 12 miles. So they are very clumped together, all together. And that's very surprising.
Yeah, I think we can expect them to split as they get closer to bullseye here. And that, again, they're going to be cautious in my mind. They're probably going to go for preemptive notch. So I'd expect the first pair to break north, the second pair to break south, something like that, or vice versa. The other interesting thing I'm noticing about both sides coming in is everybody's just sauntering. There's no real urgency about getting high and fast. On the north, ETF freezes at 30,000 feet, 600 knots across the ground. And 𝐋𝐈𝐒 is about 28,000, and the south they're loitering around 25,000 feet. Just very slow ascent. On the 104th side, they're only about 20,000 feet, so they're in no hurry to get high and fast. We're not seeing any stratospheric vipers in this round, at least not yet.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Even the Tomcats, I mean, I'm checking on Durmaz and Riker, they are just 23,000, 26,000 altogether. So they are taking it very calm. I mean,
if we were expecting the stupid long-range Phoenix that we've seen, you would see them up at about 35,000 to 40,000 feet closer to Mach 1 or over Mach 1. And here comes the split from the 104th, by the way, as we were speculating.
Yes, that's it. So they are splitting 216 to right, 216 to the left. Oh, 316 to the left, we are saying, and the 18 is coming to the right side, together with Fallen and Spade. So what they are doing, guys, for all of you who doesn't know, they are doing a preemptive notch to try to defend against the Phoenix that they expect to have been launched by the 14s. 14s, of course, this first part of the match, they can do some very alarming shots for the opposing team, because they are at range. 14s can fire and track a missile up to 85 miles out, and that's what we've seen. We've seen a kill in a match for that distance beforehand, so that's doable.
Of course, we've seen 87 nautical miles as the longest.
87 was. So guys, that's why we are seeing 104. We are seeing that they are preemptively notching those missiles, and they are waiting for Breeze and Kid to come into their left flank. And DC and Nate, okay, we have a first missile. Nate just fired towards Fallen and Spade at 25 miles missile, but they are flanking, so that one is not even going to connect altogether.
Yeah, he's only at 25,000 feet again, so there's, even at this range, they're not a high probability of kill.
Yeah.
Another missile just launched from 𝐋𝐈𝐒 in the north. Again, the northern element is similarly only about 23, 24 miles. 𝐋𝐈𝐒's at about 20-something thousand. All four elements of the lead of the 104th descended through that notch. So they're down pretty low at the moment, kind of 12 to 14,000.
Yeah, of course, we've seen that the missile sent by DC, I think it was DC. No, it was from NATO. It didn't track at all. We've seen two 120s from Kids on flying right now. So right now, 104 is playing very defensively. They are making ETF waste their missiles for reals.
Yeah, this again, it's not surprising given what the 104th have done in their previous TACT matches and the way that they would approach this. They're going to look to try and bleed missiles from the other side and up their advantage in that missile economy game, or try and take missiles away from those Hornets by getting these, pulling out these early, drawing out rather these early shots.
Yeah, but I think that what's going to happen right now is that 104th is going to switch sides. As in, the left line is going to the right side right now, and right to the left. And now, then when the fight is going to start, though, I think that's how it's going to play out.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they're switching here. So you're going to have the Mogas, Wily, Knight element swapping over to the south and then probably pushing onto Nidhogg and Dizzy. So they're effectively doing a cross block here of both elements, and then they're just going to swap sides. I think it would make much more sense than trying to turn back around into their original bandits. 17 miles now from Fallen to Kit. I think that's the closest of the ships.
Okay, 104 is starting to hot to make those barren work, so they are starting to build up some speed for this situation. It is very interesting to see that the 14s are saving the missile. I mean, they haven't fired one Phoenix yet, and this is not seen often.
From Dog in the south here. I think the Tomcats know the 104th are going to preemptively notch, and the Tomcats are playing the long game, so that when they get in close later in Fox, it's very difficult for the defending jet to know if it's an AMRAAM or if it's a Phoenix. And when it's in close, the Phoenix is deadly.
Yeah, you see 120 from Keats. Yeah, but since that they are going to be defended, I mean that's a 12 miles missile, and Fallen is already turning out cold, so that's not going to be any problem whatsoever.
No, I mean the AMRAAMs where they are at the moment, you need to be almost kind of 6-7 miles set up, for a decent PK, if they're not already turning defending out. Even that 6 to 10 range, you kind of just need these numbers in your favor rather than to be almost flying into it or not defending to the last moment. So with this sort of an early setup, again, that's probably, I want to say, 5 missiles that ETF have fired now in the last few minutes.
Yeah.
All the little red dots on the screen.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's it. I mean, they are already 5 miles left. 5 missiles less than they started, and they haven't done anything at all. Just putting 104 into defense. Okay, first Phoenix flying from Riker. From my beloved Spaniard Englishman living in the countryside of Spain.
I'm guessing that's on Maverick by the fact that he was hot when it was launched. It might be on the flanking Wiley, but I don't know if the Tomcat will have seen him. Maverick is probably pressing here onto Breeze and Kid. I suspect Breeze, so we'll be turning cold, I'd say, in the next 20 seconds. So we'll see how close the Phoenix gets. I don't suspect it will get him. I suspect he'll get to the notch early enough.
I think we have a situation in the south area that DC and NATO are going to face Knight and Mugas. Since that we are going to start the fight, we have a 15 miles out. DC is already going for the notch. I've seen this. Okay, 120 from NATO pushing into 104th formation. Also from the northern area, we have seen that Bravo, Kit and Breeze, they are starting to push towards 104th lines. I think that this time ETF is going for the aggressive tactic.
Yeah, they're certainly taking the initiative at the moment. The 104th are a good 25, 30 miles west of Bullseye, so they don't have an awful lot of area to play with here.
Yeah, that's...
Morgas has defeated the 120 in the south. Maverick went to the notch. I think that Phoenix is trashed, as is likely the AMRAAM.
Yeah, but so far it's playing very safely. I mean, I'm happy to see this tactic. Okay, 120 from NATO. That's 12 miles out. Missile from Knight towards NATO. NATO, you have to defend, mate. If not, you are going to get killed.
Yeah, another exchange in the north. Kit and Maverick trading. Another interesting thing is that, as pointed out with Stream Chat, we're dealing with Phoenix Charlies here, so the smokeless ones.
That's right.
Alpha Mark 60s.
That's right. So 120 from Maverick. Maverick might eat this one. Okay, managed to defend.
Seeing a Mark 60 come out from the back, so they're carrying both.
Yeah, I mean they decided to bring both to the fight. That's interesting.
Yeah, as an aside, we saw that with PTF2 from my analysis during the week, so I think the real Tomcat players are doing that.
Yeah, we have one more one Phoenix from the northern area coming into Spade or Wiley in this situation.
Yeah, Kit is pressing in 11 miles. I think Fallen is turning hot to press against Kit. I'm trying to see where that AMRAAM is going. I think it's towards Wiley.
Yeah, but Kit has sent it out just 2 more AMRAAMs. I'm very interested to see how many AMRAAMs is just kite.
Relatively close Phoenix in the south, 12 miles from Dormouse.
And Kit is only
towards Night.
Kit is only carrying 2 120s at this moment, so he has sent lots of missiles out this moment.
Yeah, that's basically playing into the game of the 104th there, which is bleeding with missiles and weight. Phoenix in the south was defeated by Knight. He got to the notch very quickly. Mogas had some AMRAAMs in reply towards Dormouse, but it looks like they're running out of energy. Dormouse should be okay as cold.
That's it. Okay, so now, I mean, 104th is, they are holding 2 members. We have a 2-on-2 situation in the southern area, we can see. They are flying now with the SD-10 sent by DC towards Knight, as this one seems to be tracking.
That was an 8-mile shot, by the way.
Oh, so that has a very high PK. Come on. That one might hit. No, got notched just at the last moment.
Maverick is
defense.
similarly defending one in the north, but I think it went into terrain, so it's okay there. Got behind the hill if I'm reading that correctly.
Okay, NATO sending
Phoenix
120s. Okay, this one has a very high PK. It's tracking, it's tracking. We have a first kill. NATO has managed to kill one of the members of 104th. Knight has been killed by NATO right now.
That's a big moment for the match, that, getting that first kill. There's a 120 tracking Breeze in the north. It's electing to turn cold. It's pretty close. It's starting to run out of energy, but I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, I think he will. I mean, it's just running the missile altogether, so no problem whatsoever there.
Phoenix from Dormouse on Maverick at 15 miles. In the middle.
There we go. So now we have ETF has the advantage altogether in this situation, but a fight has just been started, so we still have to see how it plays out. So we have an exchange in the northern area. Riker is trying to defend at 120 there, very hard, trying to survive this launch that was very close. Managed to defend that missile war there. Okay, what more?
Charlie on Wiley. He think he's heading for the notch. It looks like it's missing.
Yeah, 120 from Maverick toward Breeze, not way too far. ST10 from Riker, no, from who? From Breeze, sorry.
Yep.
He's still tracking, no, but it has been defended altogether. No, 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 not yet, not yet. Wow, that one was very close. Too close for comfort.
Shot with 4 miles in the north. Breeze and Fallen exchanging. ST10 going for Fallen. He turned into it at the last second.
We have a kill. That's a kill. And Breeze managed to defend. Riker also managed to defend. So Fallen has been blown out of the sky right for in this situation. So we have a 6-on-4 situation right now. 120 from Maverick and exchange for missiles from Maverick and Riker. 2 120s from Maverick towards Riker, trying to put that F-14 out of commission, and he's going to succeed. We have a kill. Of course, we have an exchange of missiles. We are going to ride with this 120 that is going towards Maverick. Yeah, still tracking. Southern area seems to be holding up.
Wiley. Joe got him. Riker with the from the grave kill on Wiley.
Wow, I didn't expect that one at all. For real, I didn't expect that one at all. Okay, Breeze is pushing up hard into Maverick right now. Maverick sending 120 into him. We are seeing the face-off right now. They are both defending and trying. Okay, we have a kill. Breeze has been taken down by Maverick right now. Okay, so now it's starting up to be a very intense situation.
4 miles on Kiss from Maverick.
That's it.
We're down to a 3-on-3 currently.
Yeah, still tracking, and that's a kill.
Kill.
So we have a 3-on-2. 104th has
that's
really...
third kill for Maverick.
Wow. Maverick's doing a very good job today.
Yep.
So ST10 from DC to Mogas, still tracking. That might be a kill. No, it has managed to defend that one. No, not yet. Okay, that was something very weird.
About.
Yeah.
I think Maverick is going to look towards Dormouse here. I'm just having a quick missile check. Maverick is down to 2 heaters.
Wow.
Spade, just going to have a quick missile check. It has 3 AMRAAMs left. Dormouse has the heaters, and otherwise it's Scosh. So Dormouse is pressing in. It's probably going to get himself killed here.
Yeah, 120 from Spade coming in to Dormouse. That's tracking. Altogether. Will he outrun the missile? Will he? No, it seems like he won't.
Might have initially, but he's turned to the notch.
Yeah, he's turning toward the missile. That's it. So this is the one alive from 7 for ETF right now. Still flying, trying to survive the situation. Of course, she's alone against 3 members of 104th. So things are not on her favor.
Dizzy has what looks like
ST10 out.
I want to say that was 2 ST10s left, so maybe 1 left and 2 heaters.
Yeah, but that ST10 goes to the ground. So now she's down to heaters. That's it.
There is 1 missile on the underside. I'm just not 100%. Is that an ST10?
No, that's a link fault. I think it was.
Roger.
So
PL5 heater out from Dizzy. 4 miles.
Spade. That's it.
That's not going to do anything.
No, it's way too far away.
Unfortunately for Dizzy, I think she's just going to be outnumbered here. Spade turning in. Spade has 2 missiles. 1 has just been fired. 2 mols.
This is going to take this one for sure. That's it. That's a kill for Spade against Dizzy. So of course, guys, remember, this has not been already been decided. We still have to see 104th to go back to land. Just so you all know, guys. So even if they won the battle over the bubble, now they have to go towards the enemy air base. 104th did take off from Bastian, if I'm correct. That's correct?
𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄.
𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄.
Now for Vaziani.
Oh yes, you are right. Sorry, because 104th this first round they have played it so safely, so back to the lines. That's something I really remember doing it myself in our team and our match against Toro, and didn't work out for us. And didn't work out for us. And this time it has worked for them, and I'm happy to see that. But now they have to fly all the long way towards Bastiani, if I recall correctly. So we see...
You recall correctly, yes. So the 104th in the middle here. Now, they're still deep in their side. We haven't seen a huge amount of turning and burning. So, there's no mergers. There haven't been any real, dogfight and close-in action. They're only 88 miles. Only 88 miles. But I would suspect with the 3 ship there, they will make it back. I don't think there will be fuel issues.
Yeah, and they've been playing it very safely. So as you are saying very well, I mean, this situation is going to be very simple for them. I mean, I'm seeing Spade right now just going ganso, just burning fuel, climbing, just going full burner. So he's not even preoccupied about fuel coming in this situation,
Yeah, absolutely. The 3 people who you see left on the 104th are, long-term veterans of DCS with many, many years of experience, individually and collectively, indeed, flying together. They've all been members of the squadron for a very long time, probably decade plus, something in that region. So, they know exactly what they're doing here. They're not going to be in burner if they've got fuel issues.
Yeah. I mean,
that's already passing 35,000 feet, by the way, so there you go.
Yeah, Maverick also on 30,000 feet altogether, so they are taking it very, very, very calmly. Oh, Breeze is on the stream right now, and he's saying us that the Tomcat dropped all his Phoenixes. For reals? Come on, what did happen there?
I was just asking, which one? Dormouse, apparently.
Dormouse?
Saying dropped all the Phoenixes.
Oh my god, mate.
That's unfortunate.
That's very unfortunate. So for all you viewers...
That says... by the way, is turning north here, so...
Really? I think that I know what's going to happen right now.
Yes, I think we both do, and we're both very, very excited about it.
Yes! We love our formation landing, guys! We love our formation flight, so go for it!
In fact, Spade is descending to rejoin Maverick, so Maverick will lead the flight in. Suspect we'll see Mogas saunter in there from the south in a little while and form up.
Yeah, hope so.
Traditionally, they'll go in for just an overhead break. That's how I would expect to see them recover.
Okay. Well, I know... It's all yours.
Sorry, mate. I do have a quick overview of what happened in that round, if we're interested, while things are tracking back towards Vaziani.
Perfect. All yours.
So, effectively... So the order of this is I think mostly correct, but I just need to get 1 kill into the sequence and then see where that slots in. Bear with me 1 moment. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So the first kill was Nate Dogg on Knight, followed then by Breeze killing Fallen. Maverick got a kill on Riker and Picard both in the Tomcat at Tanagra. We should always include those Rios, by the way. They never get the coverage they deserve. Then Riker and Picard killed Wiley. Maverick came along and decided to go a little bit crazy on the northern side and killed Breeze, followed then by Bravo Kit. After that, I think we saw Spade kill Nate Dogg. Spade then followed up and went a little bit crazy himself with the following kills, killing Dormouse in the Tomcat after the Phoenixes were jettisoned. And then finally, Spade killing Dizzy. So both Maverick and Spade come away with 3 kills each. Nate Dogg, Breeze, and then Riker Picard had 1 kill each.
So guys, you are seeing that, of course, these kind of fights are not easy. I mean, all these guys are very, very, very experienced teams. They know what they are doing, and they are very capable teams. And shit happens from time to time. It's normal. So, well, of course, we've seen the situation with Riker with his internet connection and electricity situation. We've seen the situation. Well, it's interesting to see that it was the problem with both Tomcats this time. You know, it's interesting to see. Just that says that it's just bad luck in this situation. That's a big problem. But that's a real pity. And by the way, Tempest, thank you, mate, for the 100 bits. I'm happy to see you on board this time. I mean, of course, I've been doing co-host, and he's been also my co-host on previous matches of this TACT21 tournament, and it has been a real pleasure working again alongside Tempest. So, guys, shout out to him and visit his channel if you can too. If you can, guys.
Yeah, I have to say I really enjoyed the coverage that Tempest and yourself gave for the qualifying match in particular. I can't remember exactly. It was 𝐶𝐒 on the 14th, I believe. And
yeah,
that was a cracking match, and you covered it very well. It was exciting to watch and just to see it all break down. Such a close fight.
It was a very intense fight for reals. I mean, this fight, I mean, it has gone very differently to that match in the sense of it has been very calm, but I would say in the sense of it was very premeditated. There was nothing, for what I can see from here. There was nothing out of plan for 104th. At least that's what it looks for me.
Yeah, I think again we saw. You know, I think that it's probably safe to say, if I could find my words, it'd be wonderful. That this round has gone to plan for the 104th. You know, we were speculating in the initial ingress, and indeed as the round was kicking off, how they would approach it, and again, very conservatively, very cautiously, let the enemy, you know, lead out their missiles and then have the advantage. And in the end, you know, that's how it ended up. You know, we saw two heavy hitters of 104th Maverick and Spade picking up those 3 kills each.
Yeah.
And you know, here they are with 3 aircraft still alive. I mean, there's all still to play for, of course. You know, how the ETF folks come along after this and show up in the next round, and what they do, I think will tell a lot.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm going to do a shout out to Tempest, you mad dog. Come on, guy, just 5 suspicion gift. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you. This is the first time that happened for me in this kind of situation, so very thankful. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. So, well, I mean, we were talking about situation. I mean, of course, I do know that ETF are capable of coming back from this situation, but I think that they are going to play very similar information-wise to in the start of the fight. I mean, I think they're going to come exactly the same formation: 2 left, 2 right, Tomcats on the back, and I think that's how we're going to play out for the from ETF side, at least from the start of the fight. I'm very interested to see, and I want your opinion, Titanfire, on this, if they are going to play more aggressively or more defensively in this second round.
So, I agree with you first off that I think we will see the same approach from ETF. That is generally speaking how they've approached the fights, and you know, it's got them this far through the competition. They may indeed change something up. You know, we'll just have to wait and see. But what's worked for them thus far, you know, may yet work, and there's probably other elements that they may look to change in the second round. I suspect they're having that kind of debrief. You know, we've remarked a few times in these matches that this time it takes for the winning side to return and land is good time for the losing side of the round to regroup and talk through what went wrong. Will they be more aggressive? I would suspect actually not. I think given how cautious the 104th were and how their early aggression hasn't played out for them, I would suspect that they may be a little bit more cautious in the second round. However, you know, this may be again their tactic, there's, you know, their style to go in, and we'll just have to wait and see on that.
That's the thing. I mean, I remember last fight between ETF and 64th. I remember they changed their pace. I think going. 𝐋𝐈𝐒, thank you for the follow, mate, and welcome to all of you guys who haven't been catching up. Camper, Gijo, Full Metal Cookie, Evil, ASB, and 104th Pyromaniac. Who more? Sorry, Danito, BG, Morphix, Maximum Lazastrus, and that's all for today. For right now, that's a lot of guys. Thank you guys for the following. I hope that you are having lots of fun while we are watching this fight against between ETF and 104th.
Yeah, it's an interesting point you raised there just around their last match. I think that was the quarterfinal against 64th. And
That
if
was.
my memory is right, they were kind of ultra aggressive after the first round, and almost overwhelmed the 64th quickly, or almost surprisingly, and just how quick it ended up being, or how emphatic. Maybe getting the detail wrong on that again, just from memory, but I could see that going either way legitimately. It could be a case of, okay, well, they're being conservative and we haven't, our aggression hasn't worked, therefore we'll sit back a little bit more and play the long game and see. I think that plays almost a little bit more into the 104's advantage with fuel, but as we've said before, when you're sauntering around, not burning, both sides can do that for a fair amount of time. The other way it could go, obviously, then is that they say, right, we just need to be even more aggressive and get some early shots in. And we saw them not launch the early Phoenixes. Will they do it next time? Again, they'll expect the 104th to preemptively notch. Most of the big teams do, and they don't have a high PK of connecting. But to disrupt a line or to do other things, maybe you'll see a more medium range as they ingress. Maybe the Tomcats will be closer to the leading edge as they ingress.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see a bit more aggression from ETF side. I mean, of course, they were putting down range many missiles. I mean, I think they were putting down a bit too many missiles at the start. But ETF does work very well when they are close to the enemy team. I've seen them doing very good defenses at 10 miles out or even closer. That's what I expect them. I think that's where they excel. At least that's what I think. Okay, 104 putting a show there. Thanks, mate. We love some good air show for landing, guys. We love it. Thanks for remembering us and that we are watching right now.
As Maverick in the horn of the initial break, Spade following up in the number 2 position, or well, actually I think he was in the number 1, weirdly. He was ahead of Maverick. So Mogas is approaching 𝐓𝐔𝐲𝐻𝐻, currently 4,000 feet. I suspect would enter the overhead at this point, but looks to just be loitering to let Maverick land. Starting to turn in.
That's it. So let us put correctly the camera on the left screen so we can watch the landing. And here it goes. So Maverick is on final approach right now. And we are waiting for Mogas and Spade to land too.
A good Navy landing there by Maverick, no hint of a flare. Crashed the aircraft into the runway.
Well, that's how you have to land the 18,
Absolutely.
Well, no, for real. I don't know if you know, you better know this, but the 18, because it's carrier base, you have to hit into the deck in order for the airplane to know to turn on in some I would say the I'm on the ground mode. If not, if you don't hit the ground hard enough, the plane thinks you are still on airborne. So that's why.
Fascinating.
Yeah, that's why 18s don't flare. They have to keep on going and hit the ground hard enough to deactivate the I'm on airborne mode and turn on the I'm on ground mode, by the way.
That's I would have just expected it to be the habit of doing that on carriers. You just keep you keep it up doing any sort of land-based landings.
Well, you have to do the same though. You have to keep on. I mean, the airplane is prepared for that, so you have to do that in order to the plane work correctly.
I'm laughing at Tempest in chat here, by the way. What a shame the 104th being disqualified for lack of formation landing.
That's a joke we had on his stream last time. I mean, we love formation landing, but I mean, this time I won. By the way, of course, this first round was won by 104th. I forgot to update the round counter on top. That's updated right now. Of course, I will let these guys to win this round because I saw Maverick doing a break with flares, and that's something that hit close to my heart. So, well, I allowed them to win this first round for them. So, gents, we'll be going to a brief pause while Zebra is restarted and everything's sorted out. So, stay tuned. We'll be back in less than 5 minutes. See you in just a bit, mates. Stay tuned. So guys, we are once again back to round 2 of this fight between ETF and 104th Phoenix Task Force. Not Phoenix Task Force? No, sorry.
Not Phoenix Task Force, 104th Phoenix.
Yeah, 104th Phoenix.
Phoenix Task Force are tomorrow, mate.
That's it. Sorry. Well, for all you viewers who doesn't know, we've been butchering streamer names, pilot names. I mean, we were missing butchering team names altogether in all this competition. So, well, I had to add something different to the mix, you know.
Oh, absolutely, yes. My apologies again to the 343rd Naval Air Group and to 𝐓𝐔𝐄𝐒 for all the butchering of the name that I did.
Well, that's what it, but that, well, you guys should get used to it. Okay.
Well, it's nice to have something to laugh about those earlier rounds.
So, well, guys, let us check what has gone on with the first round. Of course, we've seen that in first round, 104th won against ETF, but the interesting part is that ETF, in the start of the round, they were, if I recall correctly, they managed to take down 2 enemy airplanes from 104th before at the start of the match, and 104th came back and managed to outgun ETF on the second part of the match. Is that correct, Titanfire? I don't recall that much. Today my mind's a bit fuzzy, I'm afraid.
I'm sorry, Deliberator. I was replying to a stream chat message, so I half listened to that. What was the question, sir?
Yeah, no worries. So I was saying that, of course, in the first round, we saw that initially ETF was winning against 104th. If I recall correctly, they were 6 against 4 airplanes. So ETF was 2 down compared to ETF, and 104th managed to outperform in this situation at ETF.
Yeah, correct. I think you know, there's. I probably want to check a data point here quickly before I make this proclamation, but bear with me one moment.
I'm going to clear guys to taxi, okay?
I just wanted to double check this, but you know, ETF formed February 2020 according to the notes that the squadrons provided, whereas the 104th have been around for, you know, a long time. 2006, I think, was the date given. 2006, yeah.
Yep.
So as these rounds progress, situational awareness breaks down, and comms can break down, and experience really does play for a lot in these competitions. We've said it multiple times again through this tournament. You know, I feel like we're repeating ourselves quite a bit often in this regard, but I think it's always worth saying, you know, especially for people who might be viewing these matches for the first time. You know, comms and situational awareness are the 2 big things in my mind when it comes to these sort of competitions. You know, you can make up for bad tactics or lack of a finely grained plan with those things, whereas the other way, you know, the best plan can't be executed if there's no SA or people aren't talking to each other. And I think that's 4v6. In most situations, you think, okay, the side with 6 now really have a good advantage, you know. But we saw in the early parts of round 1, ETF were throwing a lot of missiles around, so they may not have had as many missiles left to push that advantage as aggressively as they could have done, had they still retained missiles. And I think similarly then, you know, when you're in that 4 position, it is so crucial that you get the next kill to make it a 4v5, because if it becomes a 6v3, it's done. You know, and this is something that Bullet was talking about a few times. He's commentated on TACT matches, said it again when he was with me lately. You know, you need to be fangs out, as he puts it, to be uber aggressive and just go for it, you know. And that, again, I think is, as the round drew out, that's where we saw that experience in comms of the 104th to their advantage.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we have been, as you say, we've been repeating ourselves all along this tournament. But come on, guys, I mean, PvP is not that overly complicated. It's just it's just a very small quantity of things that you have to excel at. That's all. So if you are willing to put up the work to master all the final details, then you can also do PvP. It's nothing that big of a deal for reals. But of course, you have to put out the work. If not, you won't be able to.
Yeah, a big part of DCS. You're absolutely right, Deliberator. A big part of DCS. You know, there's a learning curve. We say it all the time in our collective streams, and indeed, Pyro is having the conversation in stream chat at the moment, as is Dun. Nice to see both of them. That, you know, how do you get into it? And it's like, well, it can be off-putting. You know, it's like, oh my god, there's so much to it, and you know, you have to get over that learning curve. And the way you do it is by putting in hours. You know, it's all about it, as I say, experience and time with the stick. And when you put that in, it starts to click over time. And when it starts clicking, that's when you go, okay, now I know this.
Yeah. But of course, it's like everything else. I mean, everything in life, you just put in the hours. You don't know if you are going to excel or not, but you still have to put in the hours if you want to be a part of. That's all. The difference.
Both sides are calling ready, by the way.
Okay, just give me a sec. Tell them just 10 seconds and we start. I'm just going to put out the cameras correctly. Okay, sorry for the heavy movement, guys. Just sorting out the cameras here. Okay, so we are ready whenever you want, mate.
Roger.
Okay, countdown. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Round 2 is alive events. Let's see if, as we are wanting to see, we'll see a round 3 between ETF and 104th. I'm really looking forward to ETF winning this second round, as well as you well said, Titanfire, because we all want to see a third round of this match. That's all.
Absolutely, yeah. I think everybody watching wants to see a third round.
Yeah, I mean, we are on semi-finals. That means that, guys, today one of the finalists will be decided. So if you, I mean, and of course that's today, but tomorrow you'll be having Titanfire stream, and you'll be seeing the other finalists. The winning for tomorrow's match will be proceeding to the finalist position. So, gents, today's fight and tomorrow's fight are going to be the decisive one for the final lineup for this first TACT21 tournament, gents. So stay tuned, and remember, all of you, after we finish with the fight, we won't be finished with the stream yet. Yes, so you all know, guys, we will be interviewing both teams to check how everything went, and we will be asking the teams how everything went, how went inside the lines and such. Of course, you guys will be having the opportunity to ask them and check by yourself and ask the teams your concern and what you wanted to ask them. So guys, remember, this fight is not yet over. We still have to see if ETF managed to pull off a win on this second round against 104th first, and secondly, we have an interview with both teams after the fight proceeded with a Tacview analysis that you all guys will have the opportunity to check it out and learn from the fight from today.
So 2 pieces of data. I again agree with everything you've just been saying, by the way. 2 pieces of data I've just been looking over here. The first thing is loadouts are identical for both sides with the exception of 104th Mogas, who has now opted not to bring a Sidewinder. So it's not for the third time intact that we get a Viper with a Sidewinder. He has gone for 6 AMRAMs. And the second piece of data, as we see ETF departing 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄𝐒, is they are yet again splitting north and south. So 2 elements of 2 with the Tomcats in the back, who will presumably follow.
Yeah, I mean, as I said before, ETF are very consistent of the initial tactics. That's something, I mean, the deployment, they are very consistent. The difference is that is in how they are going to evolve the fight. I've seen them coming into more aggressive situation. Beforehand, of course, I think that we've seen that Kit, the mercenary we've seen with ETF today, it is easily seen that he's not used to the style of fight that ETF presented. He was the one who ran almost out of missiles before the fight really started. I checked his missile count. And that's something, of course, that it's a detriment for ETF. When you have a mercenary and you are not used to go with them and fight alongside them, even if you have one more airplane, it's a detriment to the overall tactics of the team. And that's something that when you guys get a mercenary on board, you have to be very careful on who you choose. I'm not saying that Kit is a bad player, by the way, just to be ultra clear. We faced against Bravo team they kicked our asses very hard, so I know they are a very good team, even if they are just new team as we are. No, sorry, they have previous experience. But the team itself was formed for this competition. But they all members have way more experience than I knew beforehand.
I think it's a good point, Liberator, and absolutely agree with both of those things. The caveat as well, that we saw Bravo and the VTAF folks who were helping them out get quite far in the competition. They made it to the quarterfinals and were quite impressive in all their matches, including the quarterfinals, indeed. And that said, any mercenary coming into a squadron who work a certain way, there's always going to be difficulties, and I think that's one of the things that was impressive about Bravo and VTAF working so well together. As a consistent or semi-consistent for TAC mercenaries. But in this situation, again, you're absolutely correct that 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄𝐒 went 𝐶𝐶 very, very quickly and very early on in the fight. And that was undoubtedly to ETF's detriment. The other interesting thing about 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄𝐒 going 𝐶𝐶 early was that 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄𝐒 has brought the targeting pod, and that means there was one less missile to take. So we've kind of debated this a few times with no real resolution. I think your great interview format may be a lovely point to ask somebody about that, but how effective is the TGP in these matches, and would they have been better served with that extra AMRAAM in that situation?
Yeah, and by the way, guys, I'm just checking right now that it seems that sound has been... Yeah, we have no sound. I don't know why, guys. I'm very sorry. I don't have the sound for this round. For next round, I'll restart DCS and solve that issue. But I'm afraid I cannot solve the sound issue right now. Sorry, guys, for the inconvenience.
Try left control Sierra.
Left control... What? Sorry?
Left control Sierra. S.
Oh, okay. Oh.
That should be a master.
That's it.
There you go. I do that all the time when I'm streaming so that I can kill the background noise.
And that I didn't know.
There you go, you learn something new. Every day is a school day.
That's it. Thank you, Titan Fur. I know I could count on you being together with me and covering my sorry ass for these streams.
So the other bit of interesting data we have here is in the first round, the 104th were on the runway for a long time before launching, because I think they called ready before their aircraft had their fuel tanks on, so
yeah,
they basically waited a while. This time they didn't. They got airborne immediately, so they're going to be equidistant to Bullseye. So we probably won't expect to see them as far back in the bubble this time unless they elect to do so.
Yeah, I mean, this time of course they okay. Oh, interesting. So all 104 is turning right? No.
I think we'll see them split up. I'd be surprised if they all did at this stage.
Yeah, 104 is just splitting up right now.
80-ish miles out, so it's early to be going for a beam. So this must be taking a cut for positional reasons.
No, I mean I think
this isn't an anti-Phoenix cut. I don't think.
Yeah, I think it is an anti-Phoenix cut because those first launches are very, very problematic, and it's better to notch it preemptively, as in better to notch it when you are at least 60 miles out, because even if you are 60 miles out from the enemy airplanes, you have a chance to get hit. It depends on how soon did the enemy Tomcat launch the missile,
I agree with that, and I think that's why we're seeing again all these teams taking that preemptive notch for Phoenixes and even indeed for high AMRAAMs closer in. But at the time they took that cut, the Tomcats were about 78 to 80 miles out, so they would really realistically only have been launching around then. So unless you're going for a really early, try and get it off.
Oh, by the way, we have a disconnect from Riker.
Oh, not again.
Yes, again, I'm afraid.
Oh,
so,
Tomcat down.
Yeah, Tomcat down. We have a disconnect from Riker. It
Riker
seems
and Picard are not on the ocean.
Yeah, I'm afraid that his petrol generator is not paying off, friend. It's a pity though. I mean, of course, I've been talking with him, as I said before, because he told me before we did the interview last time, that he was here in Spain because I'm Spanish and such. I was like, okay, where are you from, such? He's sending me photos and such. He's just in the middle of the wilderness. I'm very surprised to see that someone is able to fly DCS competitive-wise with just a petrol generator in the middle of a cabin inside the mountains and some internet connection. I'm very surprised though.
Clearly the internet connection is not great in the cabin in the mountains. That's two disconnects. In the space of about an hour and 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. That is really big, I think, for this round, because that's a big blow to ETF. And indeed, you see both elements coming back in closer again. They're initially about maybe 25, 30 miles apart. They're only about 15 miles now. So I think they're going to try and keep more close support, because they don't have that Tomcat in the back on the south now to throw Phoenixes, or to even threaten to throw Phoenixes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very interested to see how ETF is going to make a situation out of this, because now, as we were talking, Charles was also saying, we have a 5-on-6 situation. That's not looking good for ETF, like at all. Starting off with one less airplane, that's a shitty thing. Starting off with a one less airplane without wasting any kind of enemy missiles, that's even worse situation.
Yeah, that's probably the worst start they could suffer in that regard. I think it's absolutely crucial now that ETF get the first kill. If they don't and the 104th get it and it becomes a 4v6, that's going to be, again, many times harder for them. It will be interesting to see what they do now. If they're going to, if their plan was to be aggressive, will they still be aggressive? If their plan was to be passive, will they still be passive? How will they adapt now? Because 5v6 and they have to get this next kill, really, at least in my mind. Again, they kind of have to be aggressive to a point, don't they?
Yeah, they have. I mean, but you can see that also 104th, they are playing very safely. I mean, only Breeze is turning out a bit closer, but that's all. ETF is playing very cautiously, not sending any kind of missiles. 104th is just doing the preemptive defenses toward the remaining 14th on ETF side. So, I mean, 104th is playing it very safely, this fight, for reals. Very, very safely. I mean, they're going for the same tactic as they went for the first round.
Yeah, and again, this is pretty consistent with what the 104th did in the earlier round, and also how they fly as a squadron, generally speaking, in other events and competitions. You'll see this sort of a patience. Get people to waste missiles, get them to take low PK shots, and then turn it to your advantage.
Okay, of course, I didn't manage to get a hold of enough time to do my homework, as in analyze previous to the fight 104th. So that's why you have always to have a good co-host on board. So that's why Titanfire is with me to get today. He knows the ins and outs of 104th. Well, I wouldn't get any other. Sorry, I'm going to say it correctly. I'm happy to have such a great co-host today with me for this semi-final match.
Well, thank you very much, sir. The sides are moving swiftly on. The sides are getting 15 miles apart now. Breeze is slightly on his own, 11 miles back, just turning cold now. Didn't draw any shots from the 104th, didn't fire any. So maybe there's a look into the psyche of ETF at the moment, and it didn't waste any missiles, because everybody was beaming, I think.
Wait, we have one more disconnect. No, sorry, that's Picard. Also, he was the Rio. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I was very scared. I think, okay, I'm not seeing any more disconnecting from ETF. Please, guys, don't disconnect, guys. Oh. Okay, so I assume that because the 17s do carry only 4 Fox 3s, of course they are covering that difference using the 18s with 10 Amrams, of course. But overall, they are not in a good position compared to 104th. So I think they are just waiting for 104th to come back.
A slight change here now. Fallen, Maverick, and Knight are starting to press hot. Wily turning hot at the back too. We might be seeing the setup of a grinder. Or they're just looking to try and bait shots. They're saying, "Hey, I'm hot, shoot at me," and then turn around. So Knight already has turned into a northern notch again. So we'll see if they start to flow cold, or whether they're just going to continue to flow north to south. If anything, they're actually pushing further west in the bubble, and ETF are falling back further west. I don't think we've had a single missile shot yet.
No, not yet. I mean, both teams are playing it very safely. I mean, checking on Fallen right now. He's just using burner, but I mean, I think both teams are trying to go for as you well said. Let's just wait. Okay, we have a first Fox 3 from NATO towards Maverick, and that's a mile 10 shot.
Yeah, Maverick's down 8,000, starting to turn cold. That probably won't have the legs. NATO is up about 18,000. Maverick's currently 7. I didn't see what his initial altitude was, but one of the comments I was going to make actually with what we saw in round 1 was it was quite refreshing again to see everybody flying in the middle altitudes as Knight and Breeze exchange 9 miles in the middle.
Yeah, it's exchange between knights and Breeze in the middle. You will set. Okay, Breeze seems to be in a bad position because he's still trying to defend, and that missile is still.
Phoenix from Dormouse. And Alpha Mark 60 is heading towards, I think, Maverick. But they're both in the notch. Maverick and Knight are more or less in the notch. So I think that's already trashed.
Yeah, it's trashed already. So well, we are starting to see some fights already. So that's a cool thing to see. But overall,
𝐿 may be in slight trouble here. There's a high energy AMRAM bearing down on him.
Yeah, you are right. You are right.
That's going to hit.
That's
that's
a hit.
Lazy defense from 𝐿.
Oh.
It's huge.
Wow! Now one of us is 6 against 4. They are winning 2-0 right now. So well, of course, ETF is in a very tight position right now. They have to come back and do something very, very nicely done, and it's very complicated.
Did you see who launched that AMRAM? I didn't see the shooter.
I'm afraid not.
Message.
Is
there a kill message on the board? There isn't.
We have an exchange between Breeze and Maverick on the middle area. Both seems to be just going to around the missile. Yeah, they are going to around the missile. No problem whatsoever there.
Yeah, I think 𝐿 just got lazy there and turned cold. Knight with a very close 4-mile Fox on Breeze. Breeze in trouble. 2 AMRAMs. Knight is bonsai.
Yeah, we have okay. We've managed to defend that one. And so I finished
behind the hill at the moment.
Yeah, well, this is going to become a very tight situation.
Yeah, just below the peak. They're either side of a peak. Another AMRAM from Knight.
Yeah, Bravo sending 120 to cover Breeze right now. Breeze is on the merge right now with the enemy aircraft. Okay, that is not tracking. That's gonna hit. That's a kill. That's a kill from 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐿. 𝐋𝐈𝐿 is going to around the missile.
Drawing AMRAMs.
That's it. He's throwing AMRAMs, trying to save his life. Okay, exchange between DC and Willy on the northern area right now.
I fully approve of your pronunciation.
DC. Why is he running? Why are you laughing at me, mate? What this time?
I'll tell you later. Just
okay, perfect. Okay, we have a kill.
Phoenix is out.
Knight has been
killed. That was in the south.
No, okay.
Knight was in the south.
Okay, what? What's going on?
Dizzy has just died, and somebody else has just died.
𝐋𝐈𝐿 has also been killed. No, 𝐋𝐈𝐿 has been killed. No, sorry, 𝐋𝐈𝐿. No, sorry. Yeah, sorry. DC has been killed. Wow.
Oh, it's all happening suddenly. Dormouse has killed 𝐿𝐿. Fallen has killed Dizzy. 𝐶𝐒 has died to somebody.
Yeah. What the freak is going on? I mean, I could not even track this one out. Okay, we have an exchange 120 towards Breeze right now, flying. No, that's not even tracking at all.
Spade just avoiding an ST10, so we're in a 3v3 situation.
Yeah,
this has turned very quickly.
Yeah, but
anybody's game right now. Having a look at Breeze is down to 2 heaters.
But ETF is in a very tight spot. Right now they are just 2 airplanes alive, and one of us has 4 though.
Oh, I think I just mistook Fallen to be an ETF aircraft, so that's actually 2v4, apologies.
2v4, that's it. So ETF is a very tight situation right now. Very, very tight one.
Yeah, Breeze is Scosh, just the 2 heaters. 𝐾𝐒 still has a number of AMRAMs on board. Maverick has 4 AMRAMs, 2 heaters. Spade still has some AMRAMs. Mogas is launching all the AMRAMs at 𝐾𝐻. This is going to be dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's not going to survive this one.
Die.
Yeah, he's dead. That
is the writing on the wall, I'm afraid.
That's it.
𝐾𝐻 kills Mogas.
Nice kill. Spade too.
𝐾𝐻 killed Spade.
What a clutch, mate!
Well, maybe the writing isn't on the wall, but Maverick with an AMRAM, 3 miles on Breeze. 2 AMRAMs. Breeze is it's notch or die.
Okay, that's a kill.
And didn't notch, so died.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so... Well, I cannot even say anything. I mean, I'm still trying to get up to date. I mean, everything it was like, okay, 5 against 4, okay, then 4 against 6, okay, and then everything came crumbling down just in a second. I cannot even remember what has happened in this second round for real.
So we had, I think, 3 kills in a really quick succession, and the scoreboard didn't tell us who killed whom, so I'm not even sure. I don't have the info here to even go through what just happened. It ended up being 4v2, as you were correctly pointing out. You correcting me. It was not 3v3. I was mistaking Fallen because of his position to be an ETF and not a hit. scan. And then it just ended with 𝐋𝐈 killing Mogas and Spade with a lot of AMRAMs, but 𝐋𝐈 died to Mogas, and then we had Maverick killing Breeze at the end. Early on, 𝐋𝐈 killed Knight. Riker and Picard got disconnected, and Nate Dogg I think was the first kill, but we don't know who killed Nate Dogg, so unfortunately we don't have anything to work through there. Tacview will tell all, but my god, that was chaotic.
Yeah. I mean, this round has been the only one in the entire tournament which I wasn't able to catch up with everything which has been going on, for reals. The only one so far.
Yeah, I feel like it went from the initial 5v6 after Nate Dogg died down to where we are now in a very short while. You know, if I take a look at the chat, how many times transfer.
Yeah, sure.
The last kill occurred at 21:18. The first kill, no, not the first kill. The Nate Dogg died at 21:15. 𝐋𝐈 killed Knight at 21:16, and we're talking about a 3-minute period? Is that right?
I think that's correct.
We just had the entire round happen in 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Shit.
I mean, I still can't wrap my head around it, for reals. I do need to check Tacview when we finish the interview with both teams to really know what has gone on, for reals.
I think we've remarked on it a few times during these streams that it can be slightly chaotic sometimes, trying to know where to look or who to follow, but certainly when that happens, we haven't to hope. Tacview, as is being said in chat, I'm trying to see exactly who said it. Mago, Tacview will tell. Yes, Tacview will tell all. But the big takeaway is that the 104th have 2 aircraft remaining. They're both safely up at 32,000 feet and probably have the gas to make it back to 𝐶𝐶. So should they land, this is the 104th progressing.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they will land because they were saving pretty much all the fuel at the start of the fight, playing it very defensively. So I'm pretty sure they won't have any kind of problem whatsoever with that. But I'm more concerned with something, as in, will we see a formation landing? That's what I'm interested to know. That's all. That's all, guys.
I can put money now it'll be an overhead break.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I think that's what we are going to check. But if we, at least if we see some good break as we saw beforehand, I'll feel content with just that, even if just only that.
Yeah, we don't ask much, guys. You don't have to do a full formation landing every time. Occasionally it's good, but when you're transiting like this, the effort to formate is nice for the visuals. Yeah. We like the showing of airmanship. It's not, you know, it's not just about the pew pew.
Well, almost all about the pew pew. I mean, they're just doing supersonic formation right now as they are going for the air base. So they are feeling pretty assured of their fuel management right now.
I'm going to take a punt on what just happened, and you know, Tacview can prove me wrong, but I think when we saw Nate Dogg get killed / disconnected, we still don't have a kill message. That may have just been another disconnect. Sorry, it's neutral players. It probably was a kill because the DCS score being shite. I think it was a case of ETF then being down to 4 planes, just made that snap call of you just have to go for them, which is exactly as we were talking through in the previous round. The 104th going out, 4v6. Yeah, time to start shifting.
Yeah.
So I think they just went for it, and it all happened so fast. Again, we'll have to watch back on the breakdown of all of that, but you know, they went for it. So fair play for that.
That's it, guys. Of course, Jens, for all of you guys, just remember, match is not yet finished for us. We will be interviewing both teams' leaderships, and of course, you guys will have the opportunity to ask any question you have for both of them. So, guys, remember, don't disconnect yet. Stay tuned, and we'll be doing an interview with them. Get your question ready. You can ask anything you may want, and of course, if we see something that is out of place, we won't be asking that. So keep up your questions civilized as per usual, in a good sense. And guys, remember, both teams, usually with these interviews, we have been seeing all together that all the teams have been very eager to share what they are doing, what they are thinking, and just allow you all viewers to get an inside view on how they operate and how they work, guys. So stay tuned. While we are seeing all just.
Thank you. Just having a quick look over that kill log again. So, as we said, we saw the end of that round with 𝐋𝐈𝐒 in the south, and then I think 𝐷izzy in the south with the last kills. Well, some of what happened in between was that we saw 𝐋𝐈𝐒 get the kill on Knight in the south. Then we had 3 kills happen in the north. Fallen in the Viper killed Dormouse, and whose Rio was 𝐄𝐒, of course, that's what it's called, the Rios, in the Tomcat. And then about 8 seconds later, 𝐋𝐈𝐒 got killed by a Phoenix that had been launched by Dormouse and 𝐄𝐒. And then 4 seconds later, Fallen got a kill on 𝐷izzy in the Jeff. So it wasn't 𝐷izzy, it was somebody else down south, but it was Breeze. Okay, so last kill was Breeze, yeah. So within a matter of seconds, there were 3 kills in the north. That's why it all went. Hang on, what just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, 12 seconds between the first of those kills and the last up north.
Well, that says something. As you guys were saying, this kind of tournament, sometimes everything came down very fast in just a matter of seconds. But I think, in reality, this says something about one of both experience, as in being ultra defensive, ultra playing it very safely, and then in a matter of just an instant, switching to being instantly aggressive and just turning the odds in favor of them, you know? This is something I haven't seen that often in this tournament so far. Being capable of switching to defense to attack this fast and this instantly, you know?
I think that's, if anything, I'd say that's probably a hallmark of when these matches, both sides are going, right, we're going to be aggressive now. You know, and it's not just being cautiously defensive. Like, I can think of for example, the match in the quarterfinals of 104th versus the number 15 Battle Axis. Both sides were, you know, massively cautious and defensive, and it kind of drew out for a long time. Contrary to that, the last group phase match I think I covered with Bullet, everything happened. Both sides, you know, were just going for it, and it all happened so quickly. You know, utter chaos, but in the best kind of way.
Yeah.
So when both sides become aggressive, it can all just happen and unfold very quickly. Like we said, the first kill to the last was a matter of only a few minutes.
Yeah, and we are seeing a close formation break. I think this is going to go for a break for sure, as before. So guys, we are seeing 104th just almost on runway of 𝐄𝐒. So we'll be seeing a break, assuming just a matter of seconds. And afterwards, if they manage to land clearly, okay, there it goes. Popping some flares, that's it. And we are seeing also Fallen going for the break. And when we see these two guys land, at least one of them just land safely into the ground, then that's a round point and also a match point for 104th.
So I have a question from stream chat I'm going to come to in a moment, but before that, we're just going to say that 104th Maverick up front there, no stranger to... Well, let's just break into that, because I think your giggling is giving it away.
Yeah. Go for it. Please do so.
So Tomago asks, please ask Deliberator, how can he have the multitasking to constantly talk while reading, typing, and managing the cameras? Is he secretly a girl?
Well,
Deliberator.
Well, I would say in this situation that maybe, possibly, I'm a girl in the bottom of my heart. No, not for reals. I mean, all of us have some kind of faulty. I know that mine is the capacity of making a huge task, a hard task, as it is managing the 2 camera views, switching between all of them and such. I am capable of sorting everything out and simplifying things up to the point where I'm just changing between views with just the tip of my left hand fingers, just so you all know, okay? So I'm doing all of this work, just so you all know, with one hand, okay? So with the right hand, I'm just moving the camera around. Of course, I have, and for that I have 2 screens, okay? I have a third screen where I have the OBS view with the chat and such just in front of me, and that's a tactile screen, so I can just do anything I need there. I usually use this screen for using Helios when I fly, and I have a fourth monitors on the right where I have Discord and Spotify, so I can manage sound over there and anything that might come without being anything that might be a surprise.
I will add at this point that Deliberator sent me a photograph once of his setup, and it's very impressive.
Well, I think I can share that one though, if you are very interested in it. I mean, I think I have it over. Yeah,
the man prepares. Let's put it that way. That's how he could do it so well, Mago.
Yeah, I mean, oh, just.
I was just going to say, after such a comprehensive reply, we should probably talk about the end of this match, though.
Oh yeah, but I mean, yeah, I think you are right, though. Well, of course, this is a win for 104th. This is coming for real. So this is a win for 104th.
𝐿𝐶𝐄𝐒 is never for real. This is just what we all know about 𝐿𝐶𝐄𝐒.
Okay, and by the way, guys, if you want to check how I get everything sorted out, that's my setup, just so you all know, for these streams, okay? So guys, of course, we'll be going for a brief pause. We'll be interviewing both teams in just a sec. In that moment, we'll keep answering your questions and such. Mago, yes, I only have one brain, but it's divided in half. One for the shit and giggles, another one for thinking. But you know, we all men have only one neuron, and we all know that it's always occupied with one thing. The good part is that I'm capable of liberating just a tenth of the energy of that neuron, and then I can do many tasks at once. That's my secret for reals. Okay, gents, we'll be going to a pause. We'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Remember, we'll be doing an interview with both ETF and 104th. And after that, we'll be doing a Tacview analysis for you guys. So stay tuned and see you in just a few minutes, guys. Stay tuned. Okay, guys, so we are back. Now we are together with both ETF and 104th leadership. So please, first and foremost, congratulations for 104th for this win against ETF, which was a very hectic match. Most of this second round, I still need to check the Tacview to know what really happened there for reals.
Thanks, man. It was very enjoyable.
So of course I have right now Maverick with me. Please say hi from 104th.
Hello, everyone.
Fallen also here with us from 104th.
Hey guys.
And also we are together with Cookie from ETF.
Hello.
And of course Breeze also from ETF.
Hey guys.
Okay guys, so first and foremost, I usually ask these kind of questions. How did you prepare for this match? And I would like one of us first to answer, and then ETF.
We've been. Sorry, I'll take this one, but you can get the next one if that's okay.
Go for it, sir.
We've been training pretty intensely, to be honest. We've been doing at least 2 training sessions a week, one at the weekend and one midweek. The squadron, we had a bit of a down period over the past 12 months where not a lot of PvP activity was happening in the squadron and we didn't have a lot of guys flying. So we were coming into this TACT competition on the back foot. So we knew we had a lot of work to do to try and make it through to the finals. And yeah, really just a credit to pretty much every pilot in the squadron. It's not just about the guys that you've seen flying today. I want to give like a particular shout out to guys like 104th 𝐋𝐈𝐒 and also our cadets, 104 Cadet Zerdberger and 104 Cadet Raccoon. These guys, among quite several others, turned up every single training session to help us train and get ready for it. So yeah, 2 training sessions a week, certainly for the past 2 months. A lot of hard work, a lot of honest debriefs, and yeah, no substitute for just getting some bums in the cockpit and working hard.
That's it. So from ETF side, please.
We did a lot of preparation. The main issue was the hills. We're normally used to fighting in flat terrain, but the hills were a little bit of a problem. But that's really what we mainly trained on throughout the week. We had a mission pulled up for 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐓�𝐷𝐈𝐻𝐷𝐻 and just kept practicing at least like 3 hours a day. That's really about it for the training specifically did for this match. But after getting through 104th, we had fairly high expectations going into this and expected a good fight. We got a good fight at the end, so that's pretty cool.
Okay, gents, so let me catch up with the question from the chat, because the first question was... Okay, this is the question for me from Mago. Okay, this one was the first. Yeah, from Mago, question for ETF. Why at least DC choose to take that data link pod instead of the jammer pod to aid her RWR?
That was a smoke pod. That is not a data link pod. Data link pod is more boxy. That's
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's like 𝐾G600. That's a jammer pod. Just a D-link pod. But she took it's a smoke pod. I don't know what color it was, but it's just a smoke pod.
Can we change that question to why did she take a smoke pod then?
Yes, please.
God knows. I have no idea.
Yeah, it seems to be her thing.
Well, I mean, we've been seeing a lot of in this round, in this match for ETF. We've seen situations for you guys that didn't work out for you. I mean, Riker with the intermission problems that we've seen, also these kind of situations. It's a pity because I know that ETF is a very capable team. Personally, I think that today we weren't capable of seeing you working on top of your shape. You know, guys.
Yeah, just for a little bit of context. Overall, in those 2 rounds, we lost 10 Phoenixes that were never shot. For one, I jetted 4 Phoenixes in the first round instead of tanks, so that was a pretty big issue. And me and Dormouse had multiple times where we had sub 10-mile POW locks and no Phoenixes because of that issue, and then we lost 6 Phoenixes in that second round, and that's kind of a big part of our plan there. Also, we didn't have Aspen for this weekend. We had a Kit. He's a great guy. Shout out to him. Just want to point that out. He did great for us. He practiced with us. But obviously, team cohesion is something that plays into a factor. And those practices that we're talking about, it's not full team practices, it's more individual practices. And I feel like that we could have used a little bit more cohesion.
Okay, so a question for ETF2 from 𝐶𝐈𝐿1. Did the pressure given by 104th get to you guys?
The pressure was a factor, but I think the main problem was the disconnection in the round 2. I think that was really bad. As soon as it disconnected, I think that's where the pressure kind of got to us. We were like, oh no, here we go. We went into that with no support from the back. I had never flown a match with Kit. I didn't have my normal wingman, and my other wingman just died. So I was really confused, and so a random plan we just made was to go in the middle and try blobbing or something. It was so confusing. We didn't know what to do. That's where the tactical blob, where we got a bit confused. The pressure came in there, but I think it was more of a 50% pressure and 50% confusion.
Can I follow that up with a question of, after that disconnect, we were speculating on stream about, you guys being in a position where you really had to get that first kill. Was that a factor that was going
Yes.
through for you
That
guys
is-
as you were picking
Yeah,
up on that?
we were
I
repeating like
breeze
we need
like
the first kill.
15 times probably like we need this first kill, like a lot. It was pretty emphasized in our comms, but unfortunately that went the other way, and that really puts you down when you're 6v4 very early on. And it's not only that, it was a Hornet we lost very early on, so that's 10 AMRAMs already. So we're down 10 AMRAMs and we're down 6 Phoenixes. So we're at a very heavy missile deficit at that point.
We didn't get the nuance of who killed Nate Dogg initially. Do you know what exactly happened there? Are you able to share it at this point?
I'm not completely sure. I never saw a kill message, so I was kind of confused how he died. I believe he was speculating an AMRAM.
9
I
mile
believe he.
AMRAM, high to low. He went for the he went cold instead of going for the notch. He thought that the shot had a lot lower PK than he actually thought it had. So
Okay, well, that's it. Okay, one question from the airspace professional. Please ask both teams. So this is one we'll go first for 104th. Which team will become the most feared in the future in your thinking?
Can you say that one more time for me, sir?
Yes. Which team of the one participating in TACT21 tournament you think will become the most feared one in the future?
Man, that's a tough one. There's a lot of really good teams out there, and thanks to like Seitao, community skill level, especially in Squadron, is just skyrocketed in like the last 3 years. So like, I'd be looking at 64th, TA, SF, ETF. Like every single one of them is a team to be feared and respected, in my opinion.
And for you, ETF guys?
yeah, pretty much all the teams fall enlisted. That's really gonna be a problem. I think that since this was the first tournament of TACT, I think everyone was trying to get used to the concept, and now everything worked. So I think after everyone's used to it, we know what's happening and how everything goes. I think coming into this next time is gonna be a lot better because we know the concept, and obviously we're improving as we're going. So hopefully we're stronger next time. But the most feared team, it's gonna be Taurus's. Not Taurus. PTF has to still fight, but uh, yeah, we'll have to see what happens. I think it's gonna be end up Tall versus 104th, but we'll have to see what happens.
Okay, and this question comes from Third Burger Twitch TV. And this is something I wanted to ask you guys, ETF, because I've seen you bringing out the 17 to the fight. And I think you are, I'm not sure if you are the only team who has brought 17s to the fight, but at least the one who has been bringing them to the fight more often. And the question is, first, well, the question is, in your opinion, and I would love to hear first ETF, how has the JF17 changed the performance on this tournament? Yeah. I will translate that. To what point has the 17 been a fearsome contender for this tournament?
Close range SC10s. So we use the Hornet for suppression, and then up close we go for the close SC10 shots. So we use something called TGT small, which gives you a warning a lot later than it would on an AMRAM. So it's going faster, and it gives you a warning a lot later. So it's a lot more dangerous at those close ranges. That's the really big thing I think that Jeff brings into this. But yeah, that's about it.
Also a big fan of its incredible SA ability compared to the Tomcat.
Well, compared to the Tomcat, you have a good SA with any
Yes,
airplane.
very good SA.
Well,
Yes.
you're comparing the very best to the very worst.
I'm very jealous from when I'm sitting in the back of the Tomcat. Very jealous. So.
Okay, let me check. I'm trying to catch up with. Okay, the question from Mago for both teams, and also for 104th. So will we be seeing you both guys in Seattle this year? Because it's Mago is saying that 104th didn't compete this last season.
We without kind of starting too much controversy, we're not sure if we want to support the Seattle competition anymore. I'm not saying that like we're 100% not going to fly in it. We have still got to make our decision whether we want to fly in it next year. But yeah, we're not 100% sure if we want to support Satel anymore. But we're really pleased to see that TACT is up and running. I think TACT is something that we can definitely get behind. We like the 64th guys. We like the rule set as well. We feel it's a little bit more open. One of many things that we don't like about the Satal is the restriction on the AMRAAM Charlie. So yeah, we haven't made a decision whether we're going to fly in Satal yet, but definitely the next TACT competition, 100% will definitely be there.
Nice to hear, mate. I mean, we are looking forward for the next TACT21 that has been already been confirmed that will be happening before Christmas. So we'll be meeting each other really soon.
Nice.
Okay. And I think ETF, I think you have already subscribed for Satal. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, we're ready to go already. 6 Jeffs. Keep an eye out.
Yep.
Nice.
Yes. I kind of feel for the 16s and the Hornets, but
120B is
Come at me.
interesting. I don't know why.
yeah, it'll be
I don't know
interesting.
why this 120B is allowed. Should be C's, no doubt. The
Yeah.
SC10 versus B is just not. Unless you're really good at notching, it's gonna be a problem. But the way to avoid that is just by having 2 Jeffs at 2 angles. What are you gonna do? But it's not a good restriction in my opinion. It should be definitely C's. But
No, I agree. It's just that this TACT competition is such a breath of fresh air to actually fly with the most high performance weapons that we're flying with on public servers, like sort of day in day out every weekend. We're pretty much flying not only with the Charlie but against the Charlie as well, and then to have to totally just drop the Charlie to go and fly with a subpar weapon is just a bit meh, to be honest. Not really interested in flying without the Charlie.
also keep in mind that Satal last year only had pretty much Vipers. There was pretty much no Hornets, and Intact is somewhat Hornets, and they're actually being used pretty tactically. There's a good mix of Jeffs, good mix of Tomcats. It's mixed environment, unlike
It
Satal,
is
which is
nice.
only going to be
Refreshing.
Jeffs next year. Some teams are going to take 16s, but I think that's a suicide wish. But mostly going to be Jeffs.
Okay, guys. So, well, I don't want to take much of your time, guys. So, Titan Fair, if you have any question, you want to bring today for this interview.
Yeah, I just have a couple. I think there was one other question from 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄𝐒 earlier on in the chat. So I think that's just because it was much earlier, it wasn't in the list of questions there. So for the 104th, after a while out of the competitive scene, did you guys expect to get this far in the competition? What are your thoughts?
Fallon, you want to take this one?
I didn't hear it. One more time, please.
Yes, repeat, please.
Sure. From 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄𝐒, so you can take that with a bag of salt. We all know 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄𝐒.
Oh boy,
That fucking buster.
that
Absolutely.
bastard.
Yep. God damn it, 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄𝐒. After a while out of the competitive scene, did the 104th expect to get this far in the competition?
You know, honestly, like the internal squadron goal was like just to get a podium finish. So reaching this level has been I wouldn't say unexpected, but a joy to be for sure.
Yeah, we were targeting we were very aware that we were very rusty. We hadn't compete very recently, so like Fallon said, we were targeting third place. Our goal going in was to finish at least third place. We weren't putting, because normally we have a lot of pressure on the squadron to win the competition. But the fact that we've come this far and we're either going to finish first or second now, is really just as testament to how hard we've worked together as a group. Individually, we're all very talented pilots, but the work that we've been doing every weekend and midweek training with each other, and again, I really want to emphasize that it's not just about the 6 guys that you've seen flying tonight. There's been a lot of help and support from people that didn't get a chance to fly today that have really got us to where we are right now, which is going into the finals, fighting for first or second place. So yeah, hard work has definitely paid off, and the good news is we still got it.
So just 2 other questions, one for each squadron. For ETF first, we noted during both rounds you had no early Phoenixes, no initial long-range Phoenixes. You know, obviously we suspect that was deliberate, but you know, what was the thinking behind, or what were your thoughts?
Well, I can speak pretty well on this sitting in the back, but pretty much from watching their tac views, they are they're very smart at the start of the games. They're not exactly gonna set up a grinder that we can predict, or they're not gonna notch in a way we can predict. So getting those Phoenixes off to force a guy that's normally supposed to stay hot cold or defensive, really wasn't gonna work. They weren't very predictable in terms of what they were doing. They're to us sometimes, especially in the Tomcat, it look like a tactical blob, but obviously it's very coordinated. When you go back and watch their tac views, they're turning out pretty much on a dime with each other. So and getting those Phoenixes to track for that long at these distances, especially with the current state of the radar, it's a little bit difficult. We can do things to mitigate that, but once they start descending, there's not a lot we can do to keep those Phoenixes tracking for that long. So we want to kind of save them for more close and higher PK shots.
Thank you for that summary. We were speculating as much during the round, but I think it's nice to hear directly from the folks flying about, what the thinking is. And similarly, I think it actually plays into exactly what you were just describing, 𝐋𝐈𝐒, for the 104th. One of the hallmarks we've seen of you guys through the competition has been quite a kind of a cautious defense, and certainly looking over some of your tac views, that trait is there and quite evident. Without giving anything away for the final, of course. But how is your thinking in approaching rounds like that?
I think that like the most important thing that we have is a mindset that like staying alive is more important than getting that kill that you traded for, if you will. So being cautious until the odds are in your favor is something that we aim to do.
That's
But
interesting.
at the same time, we can flip the switch. We sort of anticipated that ETF thought that we would be cautious in the second round, which is we made a conscious decision to be more aggressive from the start. So as soon as unfortunately, it was really unfortunate for you guys that you lost your Tomcat pilot, and certainly we definitely feel bad for that. But as soon as we had the advantage, it was just a case of let's just throw caution in the wind a little bit and push and be aggressive. And I think that worked out very well for us.
And to add on to that, we knew the risk of playing with Riker's connection in his current state, so no need to feel bad. We willingly took that risk. So
yeah, it would have been nice for you guys to come in 6 versus 6. So you guys have really impressed us with how you conducted yourself, not only in the match that you had against the 64th, but we've kept an eye on you guys throughout the competition. And we certainly did our homework on you. We don't take any wins for granted or anything. We study our opponents, and you guys. We came in this match with a lot of respect for you guys, and I think if you're going to be one of the stars of the show going forward in DCS PvP, you're certainly going to be up there with the best squadrons that are in the game. It's really going to be interesting to watch you guys do your 6th thing as well in SATA, if that's what you decide to do. So, yeah, I think really hard lines for you guys. You guys deserve better than your friend's internet connection dropping out on them. It would have been nice to go into the middle 6 versus 6, but I'm sure you guys will be creeping around next time.
Yeah, no worries. It's not the only tact we're gonna have next week. Hopefully, the 3rd place match, and also the next tact. A lot of flying to do happens. We deal with it. Move on. Fly next time. No worries.
I just wanted to say on top of that like I think you guys have single-handedly killed this semi-widespread belief that the 𝐓 isn't a viable air-to-air platform in competition flying. Like, it's definitely a weapon to be feared and respected, and I think you guys have proved that without a doubt.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
maybe
for
not
those
6 of
answers.
them.
thank you for the
Sorry,
answers,
𝐋𝐈𝐒, go
guys. Yeah, I
I
mean,
just said maybe not 6 of them. Yeah, we tried 6 at one point. It
Yeah,
didn't go
In
well.
tact, we did. I don't know what we were thinking, but we were like, hell yeah, let's go for it.
I mean,
It's a
I
pity that we
was
didn't
on.
get to see the full 6v6 in that second round, certainly as you're all saying. But just for as a point of interest, that flipped, the switch flip that Maverick was referring to, like the first kill to the last kill, it went 3 minutes 30 seconds was the round. Like it just all happened so quickly.
Didn't feel that quick. Felt a lot slower.
Yeah.
We
It
couldn't believe it was
feels
just
a
kill,
lot
kill,
slower.
kill. From both sides in that regard,
Yeah, it was good fun.
Okay, so the last question, I asked this of kind of all teams when we do these interviews. TACT is a new competition. We're seeing a lot of new squadrons come into DCS, which I think we all collectively agree is a good thing. As in one case, a relatively new squadron coming into the competition and impressing everyone, and as an old stable of DCS in the 104th, what would you say to either new squadrons forming or to people who are thinking they want to get involved in this?
Do it. I mean, don't be worried about where you place. I've been flying in DCS for more than 12 years now, and still, when we're on the runway waiting for that call to go, I'm terrified. It's not the right word, but I'm racked with anxiety and sweat and adrenaline, and even after flying for 12 years, it's still something that really gets my heart racing. And there's nothing quite like flying in a single life PvP event like this, especially when the members of public are watching and you're trying to represent your squadron. So I would say, yeah, don't don't focus on, listen, we don't think we're going to do very well. Just get in and do it, because you honestly will not have more fun in DCS than taking part in these PvP competitions. So get in there and do it.
Yeah, I would say the same. Just get in and do it. Really, we when we weren't made for Seitel, but as soon as we discovered Seitel, we went into it as quick as we could, and we've had a lot of fun. Starting from we've only been up for a year, and now we're here. So hopefully, as we go into the next tournaments, we can do better.
And to add on to that, I'd like to just don't get discouraged. I mean, it can be frustrating at times, but it's really about grinding through that and achieving the highest skill ceiling you can. You just got to really just grind through it. Don't get discouraged. Keep going. Because this whole squad, about half of us are kind of new to ETF. But if we kept going, we kept practicing, and just kept working with each other, and good things will happen. Just stay dedicated.
Yeah, I can't talk in the sense of us DSW being a new team, a newcomer, for a team formed solely for TACT21 tournament, and I can talk from the newbie part, as in the grind is there all that it is. You have to grind it out, and you are going to lose. You are going to be killed. It's sometimes it's like, okay, this is not worth it because I'm getting killed day in day out 24/7, but that's the part you have to grind it out. That's it. You have to keep on going, keep on learning, keep on dying, and build upon everything you get. That's it. There's no other thing to do. Just grind it out, keep on going, and with enough time and effort, you can get to a level with we've been shown today for 104th ETF, and that's all the amount of time and effort. That's it for sure, guys. For you to know. So guys, I won't take much of your time. Questions from the chat has been dying down lately, as Titanfire doesn't have any kind of more question to bring out.
Nope, that was the last one for me. Thank you.
Okay, so I will thank you guys for this interview with you guys. It's been a lovely thing. I'm pretty sure that our viewers have been loving this kind of format. They are now capable of getting to know you guys, how you think, how you act, and how everything has been unfolded in both of your sides. And I want to thank you guys also for being here today with us just after a 2-hour match and just doing an interview. I'm very thankful for you guys for joining us. And I want to finish it up saying once again, congratulations for 104th for this win today. And ETF, I know you will be fighting hard for that 3rd place in the next match next week.
Yeah, let's hope we don't get another disconnect. But other than that, yeah, GG's to 104th. Good luck in the finals.
Good luck,
Thanks,
guys.
guys. Good luck next week.
Absolute
Good
pleasure to
watching.
fight against you. Thank you.
Same here. Honored to fight you guys. Good luck in the finals again.
Thank you.
So guys, we'll be going to a brief pause, and after less than 5-minute break, we'll be going into the Tacview analysis, so stay tuned, don't go too far away. We'll be going back to that in just a few minutes. See you in a bit, guys. Okay, gents, we are back, and Titanfire has just arrived just in time. We are just in time.
For you.
Always. I mean, of course, well, we were talking a bit more with both teams, of course, but I don't want to make you guys wait much longer. So, Titanfire, I'm going to share my screen right now with you, but I forgot to do, as per usual. Just remember, guys, if you need a co-host for any kind of stream, talk with Titanfire, because he's the one who knows to be there for you and keep you covered always, 24/7.
You're gonna make me blush yet, Matt.
Well, I'm trying my best, you know. Oh, and by the way, do you recall what were you going to tell me about pronunciation? That you laugh at
Say
me?
that again?
You laugh at me.
Yes, pronunciations and names. You fell into a running gag we have with 104th Wiley, where we all refer to him as Willy, and your initial pronunciation was Willy, so that tickled me.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, gents. Oh, let me first turn up the cursor so you all know what I'm pointing at. So, guys, we are looking low blow. We want. Maverick, thank you for the kind words, mate. Well,
Seconded.
Well, I want Titanfire with. If I do the finals, I want Titanfire with me. By the way, just so you all know, I wouldn't take it any other way. Okay, guys, so let us start with Tacview analysis. For we are seeing the first round, as we were talking initially, ETF went for what we expected, as in 2 guys left, 2 guys right, and both 4 teams on the rear doing the coverage. 1/4, as we were talking all the round, they were just preemptively defending those possibly finishes. That is, yes, 55 miles out. So they did start to go for the notch. Yeah, 20 miles out. That's a good distance, by the way, to start going for the notch, by the way. So usually, when we were training us D3W with the little knowledge we have so far, we've been seeing that the good distance to start going for the notch is around 65-ish miles out from the Tomcats. So if you know more or less where they are, and in the case of ETF, they are very predictable as their deployment goes of the airplanes in the area. So you just have to check on the data link page and check, okay, who's the farthest one out? This one? Okay, this is the Tomcat. Then I'm going to notch that one out. No, I'm not going to be concerned with the 18s and 17s on the up front, because they are not going to fire. They're going to wait for the Tomcats to do the work. But so far, of course, because the 104th knew that ETF was going to do this, and ETF knew that 104th was going to do exactly this tactic, then pretty much so, 14th got nullified almost the entire fight.
So they knew that they knew that they knew.
That's it. I mean, when you know, they know, and they know you know, and well, you know how the things go.
No, to be fair, it's something we said during the rounds as well, and we've seen in a lot of these rounds. Those early preemptive notches for the Phoenixes are, almost a given when you're up against Tomcats. No surprises to see it and well executed. It doesn't take much to fall off of the Tomcat's radar when you get into the beam. If the missile's in flight, I'm open to correction on the current state of the Tomcat and the Phoenixes, but having flown in the Tomcat quite a bit, that that thing can fall off the radar so easily. So you break into a beam for a few seconds and that's it. Its missile's gone.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. We were discussing with the guys, and if I recall correctly, 104th mentioned off camera when we are just doing a bit more small talk that 14th. The 14 is not that good of an airplane to bring out in a PvP environment, and we've been seeing not many teams bringing out 14s to the fight though.
It's interesting because I think we have seen some squadrons use it very effectively. ETF have been one of them, and another one that we've seen use them effectively is PTF, Phoenix Task Force, who will be in the other semi-final tomorrow. And indeed, at the risk of spoilers, in what we were talking about earlier, I'll be planning to put that semi-final live a little bit early for some pre-game. I have some analysis and statistics to talk through from both sides to date, which hopefully should be interesting. One of them is that the Tomcat is actually overperforming for PTF. So, I wouldn't rule it out entirely. It's, there's probably a lot of circumstances, and take everything with a grain of salt with that. But
That's interesting for sure. So guys, that means that when you, as I said before, if you want a good co-host, bring Titanfire on board. He knows everything. He prepared everything. So if you guys say that I'm capable of multitasking, well, Titanfire is the one who gets everything ready also beforehand, and that's the best thing you can have on board.
So we have a match. Let's go back to the match.
Yes, sorry. I just yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm so happy having you here with me today in this semi-final that I cannot say otherwise, mate, for reals.
Likewise, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to come along.
So of course I'm just zooming into
it's
this.
Stratospheric Amram, by the way, at 75,000 feet.
Yeah, well, of course we can see that this one was launched by Nate Dot at just 26 miles out. But this one just, we all know that the 18 radar is not top performing as before. Right now is more prone to get notched very easily. And I've heard that 16 radar is going to be also nerfed in the future. At least that's what I heard. I don't remember where and from whom. But I think that's what we are going to see in not so far off the future. And of course, these kind of notches so far, even if it's just 25 miles out, they eat those missiles and that 18 radar. That really gets it really eats it entirely. So that's why we see those 120s climbing out into the air. Same with this one sending out by Kit in this situation.
Yeah, so I think what we're expecting to see here from my notes from the round and memory, we're going to see a lot of AMRAMs being thrown out by ETF.
Yeah.
We're going to see not so many from the 104th. They're just kind of baiting a lot of shots here. And the missile count runs down. As you commented during the stream, Kit ended up being Skulsh, I think, long before the fight really got started. And the first kill we're looking for there will be Nate Dogg against Knight in the south.
Yeah, I mean, I just counted the missile here. I think it was 5, 6, 7. I think it's like 8 missiles, 9, 10, 11 missiles send it out by ETF before even one missile came out from 104th lines, you know? So
yeah, that's exactly it, isn't it? You can just see there now. I think it's at the first 104th AMRAM.
Yeah, this is the first one.
We've got 6 AMRAMs and 2 Phoenixes. 3 Phoenixes, in fact, out. It's a second Tomcat.
And you're missing this one. I mean, it's impressive.
7 AMRAMs and 3
Yes.
Phoenixes out. Yeah, there you go. So there's their, missile economy. And even though the Hornets took, I think I'm right in saying 9 and 10 AMRAMs respectively because of the TGP with Kit, it didn't account for too much at that point.
Yeah, that's the thing. Of course, when you are bringing 18s full of, with what I said, also say the spam ram loadout, as in carrying 10 AMRAMs, then you are expecting to put them out in good use. As in, okay, you are going. Usually, what I see other teams do is that either they are going to use them to put the enemy formation into defensive situation at the initial start of the fight, or they are going to wait them for the second part of the fight. Well, while the other team is running low of Ox3s, and then they are going to come in with the 18s and just spam those 8 slammers down range,
Yeah, I think there's the data scientists amongst us, however many of them there may be, I think would have a field day with the data from TACT. I would really love to see at the end of the tournament the breakdown of 10 AMRAM Hornets versus double ugly Hornets versus the 3-bag Hornets, and how effective each of those configurations were. How many kills did they get, how many survived, things like that, and see, was there really any kind of empirical difference, between those loadouts? Because I think the best combination from seeing the matches thus far, and this is just my perspective, but is the double ugly. The 2 fuel tanks and the 8 AMRAMs.
Yeah, I'm not so sure because the teams running the 18 hasn't been running out of fuel though. So I think it's not that easily said that the double ugly is better than the spam ram configuration though.
That's what I mean, it's just my perspective of it, and it's very much a subjective one.
Yeah, well,
but that's why I said I'd love to see the data behind it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so guys, if anyone you has that much free time, just download all the Tacviews and analyze all of them, and get the information out of them. That would be very fun to see.
Yeah, we'll wait.
You will do that for reals? Come on.
No. We'll wait is what I said.
Yeah, okay, perfect. I misunderstood there for a second. Was like, okay, for real, mate, that's a long for effort there put down there.
I imagine you could get a lot of interesting data out of it. That's why I say if anyone were data scientist inclined.
Yeah, I mean, we all love some good data for sure.
So I think this is possibly the first kill coming up, NetDog against Knight.
That's it.
So big energy advantage from NetDog, a lot higher. But that uphill shot is quite hard to defend often. I think NetDog's getting into the defense earlier than Knight.
No, but the thing is, of course, in this situation, Knight sent it 2 120s his way, and of course, Knight was defending an SD10 that came from DC beforehand. So Knight just faced Knight just out of the situation because he turned to notch this missile.
Very good point.
Yeah, so of course he saw himself in a tight situation, just way below NATO's altitude, just sending a 120. Yeah, but this is just interesting. 6 miles out. That's a very close missile to launch. But of course, Knight is very his energy is just 0.7 Mach, so he's very low on velocity due to be defending the SD10 sent out by DC in this situation. So of course he sends downrange the missile and just pray to defend that, to notch that one out, but not good enough. I'm afraid that this 120 just didn't track at all though. Oh, I understand what did happen. I'm pretty sure that this 120 from Knight was just a bad dog one.
Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, when you're defending the ST10, trying to both stay in the notch and then pick up the guy on your nose, it's a lot of multitasking. It's something Knight is very much up to as a pilot. He has the skills, but unfortunately just didn't get into the second notch in this regard.
Yeah.
Or get portrayed.
Okay, so let us watch which was the second kill though.
Breeze killing Fallen.
Breeze.
So that should be in the north. Like Fallen is currently on the west of the 104th lines, so there's probably a few minutes more of trading.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a long time then.
Rather.
This defense, this was a very close defense though. No, not that close. I mean, one of the things I've been seeing ETF do is that they know how to defend very well though. No, for example, DC, who is no here. DC, I remember seeing her defending very well in close, very close matches, in very close fights. I mean, 5 to 7 miles out, down to the ground. And I think she really excels, for what I've seen, defending missiles in a flat area. And that's something that has been very surprising for me, though. I mean, I remember ETF. Okay, here's the kill, I think. No, sorry. I remember ETF saying that they are more used to defend on flat areas, not mountainous range like this one. So of course, that's something that maybe 104th are more used to this kind of fights, in these kind of situations. I'm pretty sure this has taken a toll in ETF while they were getting into this close quarter formation, these close quarter fights.
Yeah, it's not something you see very easily from F10. Like, we know the terrain is there, and we can see the terrain better, I think, in the alt view than the sat view, but for the streams the sat is better.
Yeah.
But even then you have to kind of come for the tac view to see really how the terrain is being used. You know, it's quite difficult live seeing whether someone is behind a hill or not, or, you know, has put it into terrain other than the missile just disappears.
Yeah. So you can see here, guys, that of course the terrain masking is a thing when you have this many mountains all around. So be careful these ones. And you can see
another point of data I'd love to see actually is how effective the various mission configurations have been with regards to terrain. You know, where has it been most effective? You know, has it been Persian Gulf, Bandar versus Kerman? Has it been here on the Caucasus, Vaziani versus Goboletti? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, for you, all of you data nerds, please bring out the guns, collect all the data, and bring out to us in a digestible manner, so we all understand what has gone on. Please, I would love to see that, guys. Okay, so this is the second kill. This was a very close send out. I mean, just a 6 miles out launch from this towards Fallen in this situation. Fallen also sending a 120 in match 1 situation here. No, but oh, no. First one, it didn't track at all. So first 120 didn't track at all. It was the second one that Fallen tried to turn out to defend this 120, and this one did track, but not good enough. Breeze managed to notch that missile out, and just that, as I was saying, ETF knows how to defend. I mean, this is a just 4 miles out missile. I'm not capable of doing this kind of defense like at all, for reals. And this is
It's
something.
one of those things. Again, as we say many times, it comes with practice, and I think this is where we're seeing the people who are very good at it and who have put a lot of hours into it. Even if it's something, you know, again, I think it's one of the stream chats lately. If you're not used to doing it, just go on a server with your buddy, have them throw, you know, 1v1, have them throw AMRAMs at you, and just notch them. You know, just lather, rinse, repeat. That's how you build up the skills in that regard. And I'm just seeing Flame in chat commenting. Not sure if I'm correct on this or not, but I noticed the most ETF defending cold and some of the 104s defending by notching, but they won't recommend in early engagements in tournament. I think, you know, to be fair, we're seeing, like in the case with Breeze here, ETF are also, you know, they have the skills to notch and do notch as well, but broadly speaking, one of those snap second decisions you have to make is how close is that missile to me, and do I need to notch or can I turn cold? And after a while, that's just experience and instinct. But you know, you get that decision wrong, you're dead. You get that decision right, and you survive.
And that's the thing, though. I mean, just for all you guys, for my practice with my guys, as you said, facing each other, just testing out the distances and learn to notch and such, we've noticed that if you want to turn out cold for a missile, just rain that missile out of energy, and the opposing airframe, of course, is an F-16. You have to start turning out cold around 10 to 12 miles out from the enemy airframe. If you turn out cold just lower than that distance, you are dead for sure. Almost for sure.
Parameters are a big thing here because, you know, if one person is high and fast and you're low and slow, you know, okay, outrunning it probably won't happen, again, distance, etc. But if you're both down low, the range at which you can run is effectively lower. You know, like when you're down low, the air is much thicker and it's much harder for the AMRAM to actually cut through it.
Yeah.
And harder for the jet too, to be fair, but it will be able to, you know, gain speed and accelerate more quickly when the AMRAM's starting to lose energy. Well, it's one of those things. It varies. I don't think there's any hard or fast, but it's, you know, there's probably about 3 different ones you could say: low, medium, high altitude, that type of thing.
Yeah, of course, all the distances are dependent of energy state, altitude, difference of altitude between both airplanes. It's not a linear thing. Of course, what I found with my guys that is a good start to getting to know how to how to do the decision making for the situations. It's like, okay, let's do same level. What distance can we start defending? This one, okay, let's go higher, and then we build up on that and decide on a basis of defenses. And then if you have the enemy higher than your altitude, you know you have to start to defend sooner than later. Afterwards, you are late, and of course, if you are higher up to to some extent, you can defend a bit later, depending, of course, of the situation. But that's experience, guys. If me being such a bad player as I am, you guys can do better than me for sure.
Interesting comment from Dizzy, by the way, just on the probably as a final comment on Notch before we move on. Notch is kind of risky in the hills, she says. All it takes is a few seconds against the sky while flying over a mountain and you're hosed. Because of course if the AMRAM's looking up, it's much more likely that your Notch won't be effective.
Yeah. Okay guys, let us continue with round 1 situation. So of course what we saw is that in this situation, as we were talking before, 104th, initially they were outgunned and to play. I mean, they were just 4 airplanes alive against the 6 from ETF side. So that's very interesting. I'm very interested to see how everything played out in 104 side to turn out the tables for ETF in this situation, you know?
Yeah, I think a few things happen that that probably turns the tables. One of which is Maverick goes, right, time to start killing some folks.
Yeah.
You know, as we said at the end of the first round, Maverick came away with 3 kills and Spade came away with 3 kills. Spade similarly had that thought process in the south. But I think we go back to, again, like ETF in round 2, when 104th were down to 4 jets and the ETF folks were still at 6, this next kill is crucial.
Yeah.
If the 104th lose a jet and it becomes 6v3, the round is more or less lost, you know, unless they mess it up somehow. You know, they don't have missiles, for example. But when 104th get this kill, it's like, okay, game on. You know, so this is, again, as Bullet would say, fangs out. It's time to be aggressive. They have to get that kill, and Maverick shows exactly that. Comes in. You know, I don't see what that range was, but here's 2
5
AMRAAMs.
miles.
I'm not going to throw 1 at you because we have to get the kill. So I'm going to throw 2 at you.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
The first one does hit.
And that's the thing. Luckily, this Phoenix sent out by Riker didn't track Maverick though. It did track Wiley. Yeah, it did track Wiley. I might kill him. Oh, this is interesting. I thought it did track Maverick for a moment though. Did I need that though?
What's the missile view? If you click on the missile and go in cockpit with it, you can see where it's looking more easily.
Yeah, let me check this one out here. Yeah, you can check. It was tracking Maverick at the start, but then it decided to lose that track and go to Wiley.
Yeah, it must have lost Maverick in the notch and then just reacquired Wiley.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah, seems so. Seems to be that. I mean, this is something we've seen happening for Phoenix very often, and not so much for 120s. That losing one track and then keep on flying and find someone new and just turn on and kill that one. I've seen this happen a few times altogether, but not with 120s though.
Was that Dormouse and 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄𝐒 who launched that? If either of them are in chat, could let us know if they can remember where they're targeting the near or far aircraft there.
Riker.
Oh, Riker and Picard. Not sure if they're with us in chat.
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's just lamenting. I mean, Riker has a problem.
Riker's probably still offline, actually.
Yeah, it's very possible that he's still alive.
Poor Riker.
Poor Riker, really. It's a pity. This situation sometimes happens. It's a very pity, but well, that's it. Yeah, this is saying Riker in altitude.
Riker kills Wiley. Yeah,
yep.
And then we're down to a 5v3.
That's it. 5v3. So still, this is a 2 airplane advantage for ETF in this situation.
Mm-hmm. So then the next, again, Maverick up here in the north stays aggressive, recommits, and then picks up 2 kills.
Yeah, against Breeze, maybe? Yeah, this should be the one. Yes, at 3 miles out, 120.
That's some great situational awareness from Maverick there, by the way. It'd be very easy to go, I've just gotten a kill, I'm not going to extend and run away. But to know that Jeff was there and bearing down on him, you know, again, I didn't see the exact speed numbers beforehand, but may not have had the gas to run away. Hornets are, you know, infamously slow.
Yeah.
I'm not a Jeff pilot myself, so I can't swear to their acceleration, but I would suspect that Jeff would bear down on it quite easily.
Well, I can say to you that Jeff usually has a better top speed than the 16 while going in just in mill power, but when you go full burner, 16 outperform the ETF, the Jeff 17 for sure. But down into mill power, Jeff is a very good airplane and saves a lot of fuel, by the way.
I mean, it's a big 29 engine in it, right? So those obviously Fulcrums are pretty fast. I don't know what the weight is like on a Jeff versus a Fulcrum.
Yeah, well, I don't know either. Well, we can say at least that, of course, speed-wise, they're very close by. Yes, Mach 28.29 to .2075.
What was Maverick's speed before he recommitted? That's the key data point, I think.
No, I mean, in this situation, you can see he's just 0.7.
Yeah, 0.7.
But you know, with the 18, usually when you're turning here, and if you don't yank too hard the stick, then you are not going to lose that much airspeed. You can hold .75 quite easily, but you cannot build up airspeed when you are turning with 18. With the 16 you can, but the 18 you cannot.
Yeah, honestly, I think this is a huge kill here for the round, and this is, you know, what I'd describe as being on a knife edge of, you know, you get this maneuver right and you get the kill like Maverick did, then that's turning the round in your favor. You get that wrong, the other guy defends and you die, then you're throwing the round away. So
yeah,
you know, well
I
done,
mean,
Mav.
And you can see, guys, here that we were talking about knowing your terrain. Okay, ETF did say that they feel more comfortable with flat terrain, and here it shows. You can see that this SD10 did hit the mountain over this area, just over here. Of course, Breeze doesn't have any kind of mountain whatsoever to cover himself. So of course, in this situation, Maverick has the advantage because he has this little ridge over here. Well, he just managed to put that SD10 to hit by. You can see if this wasn't for this ridge, Maverick will be dead here.
I think that was a squeaky bum moment there for both pilots. But again, it's like you have to get that notch perfect if you're going to defend it.
That's it.
So next kill again is Maverick, gets a kill on Kit, so it's probably this one straight here.
Yeah, 2 more 120s for reals. Those 18s just sending those many missiles. Of course, 𝐋𝐈 tries to notch this one, but of course, one thing when you are higher in altitude compared to the enemy airframes, and more so when you are this close, you have to be very close to the ground to go for the notch. In this situation, you can see 5 miles out, and 𝐋𝐈 being Angel 12, while Maverick being Angel 6. This high altitude is what kills 𝐋𝐈, nothing else, because he just tried to go for the notch, but you can see here that he's way too high. And of course, this one missile did hit the mountain, but the second one did not, and that's the one who killed 𝐋𝐈 in this situation.
Yep. Again, it's not your die at that range, as you know everybody keeps saying. That's not anything unique or new. Interesting, Maverick was relatively slow there, about 0.5 something Mach. And the other interesting thing there, of course, as you point out, is it's a double tap. You know, it's like he's not playing around here. He's got the missiles with 8 of them to start with, and is going right. I'm throwing 2 at you, and
yeah,
good thing he did, because the first one goes into the hills.
I think it was the second one though. It's the second one that went to the hills though.
Was it?
It is the second one though.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
So
well,
this is,
either way.
yeah, either way. But of course, when you
Either
are
way,
this
you got the
close,
result.
you have to go. For my experience, you have to go closer to the ground to defend. Just a bit, 2,000 to 3,000 angels lower than this, and you will manage to defend. At least that's my experience so far.
A couple of comments from stream chat. Tomago and Dundun both agreeing that first defense of Maverick that went with the hammer and went into the hill, both agreeing that he probably had the notch in, and I'd concur with that. The previous knife edge.
Yeah, but I think that will have killed Maverick though, because he was just turning out to the sky. He was making himself very clear to the missile, and if it wasn't for the mountain, he will be dead. And we've seen that Maverick came for the clutch in this round for reals. Maverick was the MVP for this first round. We have seen this all together, and of course,
I think, to be fair, that's split between Maverick and Spade. Spade does the same thing pretty much in the south here, as we can jump back and see, because Maverick just gets these kills to kind of shift the tide of the round, certainly, but Spade comes along with 3 kills in the south. The first one,
oh really?
I think, being Nate Dogg here. Yeah.
This is the kill.
Yeah.
Okay, so 104th has
Nate
2
Dogg, then
MVPs.
Dormouse, then Dizzy.
Okay, that comes. Okay, then for next rounds, what 104 has to do is just bring out Maverick, Spade, and just make all the airplanes stay on base. That's all. That's all they need to do. Good to know. But you're seeing, guys, that 104th and ETF are firing the missiles very close by. I mean, this is a 7 miles out shot into Nate Dogg. So that means that these guys feel comfortable defending those missiles at those distances, usually. Of course, in this case, Nate Dogg with an F-18, he cannot outrun the missile at all, and he tries to go for the notch. But he's, I mean,
Doesn't get it, just overturns.
Yeah, I mean,
you can see he's almost cold there. He's kind of in that off the 3-9 line. He's, you know, what would have been the 3-9 is probably more pointing towards what would have been 8 originally.
That's it. And you can see here that they don't just say, okay, I'm not in the notch, I'm just trying to overcompensate, and now he's just trying to outrun the missile.
Yeah. You can see Nate Dogg trying to roll right, which would have put him back towards the notch, but then elects to roll left and run cold again.
Yeah.
And at that stage, it's just too late.
I mean, these are the small details. I mean, you have to go for the notch in this first turn. If you're not, you are dead. That's all. That's all.
Yep, that's why we say when it's in close like that, as we've seen across all of these different matches and rounds, you know, when it's in close, it's not your die. And if you don't get into it, more often than not, you're dead.
Yeah. Okay, so let us continue on the right flank. So DC, okay, no guys managed to defend this one. Now we have a 2-on-3 situation. And Spade.
Dormouse.
Oh, I remember this one. This is the when Dormouse did turn towards a missile too soon. I remember this one. 8-mile shot, Dormouse turning out cold. Of course, the Tomcat can outrun the 120 easily, just hitting out the burner. So
it can, but again, it's parameters. You know what I mean? If you're slow and it's close and you hit the burners, you're probably dead. You know, it's not every time you can outrun it. There are situations when you can outrun it, certainly, and you have a better chance of outrunning it than you do, say, in a Hornet. But it's not a given.
Yeah, but you can see Dormouse did have enough parameters to outrun it. I mean, you are Mach 1, you can just outrun the missile, no problem asked, for sure. The pity is that Dormouse did turn into the missile. That was all, and that's a big pity for this situation.
Dormouse is in chat and says that 120 popped off my RWR. We were silent when it hit. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, of course. For all you viewers who doesn't know, that RWR is not an all-seeing eye. Just watch the signals just in this plane. That means that when the missile is on top of you or below you, you don't see the missile. Just for all of you who doesn't know already, okay, guys? So that's why when a Dormouse starts to turn up, the missile is just on top of him and he doesn't see it at all.
Yep, there you go. Dormouse saying the same thing in chat. RWR can't see straight
Yep.
up. You do have blind spots with it. And again, if it's something that people aren't familiar with or, want to kind of prove for themselves, same thing as earlier. Get on a server with a mate, have them launch an AMRAM at you, and while your RWR goes off, bank. Put the top of your aircraft towards it, and your RWR will go silent.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's no other way to go. Of course, Spade here, as you said, just came with it. So between Maverick and Spade, they did kill the 6 airplanes. So 2 guys killed the entire team.
Yeah, the 2 of those, as I say, were the heavy hitters for the 104th in that round. And the other interesting thing, I think both of them got those 3 kills in relatively quick succession. At a guess, I'd say Mavericks were probably slightly quicker in the sense of time elapsed, but both were pretty quick.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so let us jump into second round because this is the one I want to check out. Because I could not follow what happened there just such a short brief of time. I'm still I'm racking my brain out about what did happen there.
So the whole round, as I say, from first kill to last, lasted 3 minutes 30 seconds. And if I can get my notes, the first kill was on NetDog in the south, I believe. Ran cold and the missile. Yeah, is it Kit? Where's NetDog? NetDog's in the north. I think NetDog ended up in the south, perhaps. But anyway, NetDog dies.
Okay.
I think it was an AMRAM comes in, elects to run cold, but is too slow, and the AMRAM still had too much speed.
Yeah, I'm checking over here. Just you can see here that in this situation, ETF was like, okay, we've lost Riker. He got disconnected. Now what do we do? Okay, and then decide, okay, let's go for it. They didn't stand there just waiting and such. They just went close. But then they decided, I think in this situation, they decide like, okay, let's try to make 104th waste some missiles so we can balance out the situation here. But 104th did manage to keep on the formation and just play very safely and make ETF waste some missiles on top of having 1 less airplane from the start. Yeah,
more missiles from the 104th in this round, and I think, again, we can't overstate how important or how unfortunate, there's that first kill, by the way, in the south.
Yeah.
We can't overstate how important and unfortunate that loss of Riker and Picard in the Tomcat was. At this stage, again, like the guys said in the interview, they're 5 versus 6, and they now consciously have to get that first kill, so they're becoming aggressive. And they're having to do it, because if the 104th get it, like just happens now, it's 6v4. And it breaks down very quickly from here. In the next 3.5 minutes, it's over.
That's the thing. Of course, we've seen this kind of launch. Of course, this launch from Mogas 1.1 Mach that's a good airspeed to start a fight at 30 miles out. But of course, the pity here for NetDog is that he did turn hot towards the enemy to launch this missile. But of course, that made him have less airspace, less distance to turn out cold. Of course, when you get your direct warning in this situation, you can see here that he's very, very low on airspeed, and he just tried to go to first initially to go to the ground, which is a good tactic, by the way. But then he changed his mind and tried to notch the missile and then wiggles to try to drain out the energy. But he's way too slow, and that's why these kind of defenses are best done with the 16, as far as my knowledge goes. More than 18 in these kind of situations.
Yeah, if you can roll that back a little bit, there's a couple of interesting points there. One of which is it's not necessarily a bad thing to be slow initially. One thing in your advantage is you're not closing with the enemy's missile as fast. If he was Mach 1.5 there, he's actually in a worse situation because it's that close. And secondly, when he tries to split S, being slow means he's going to get through that turn more quickly. And he'll if he's faster, he's going to draw that arc he pulls will draw into the enemy missile more. I think the mistake here, well, probably two of them. One of which is didn't go for a notch at that point, or didn't go for a vertical notch and pull it into terrain, didn't extend the split S downwards and
Yeah.
try and get as low as possible. You've stopped dragging into the missile. You're not dragging a little way away. That's cool, but pull it into the ground. And secondly, now that he's elected to go cold, I remember from the external shot of the missile hitting, I think he was at best mill power. So, didn't light the burners, didn't just try and get out as quick as possible, which is, I think, why I called it probably more of a lazy defense.
Yeah.
Saying I've just turned cold, that's enough, and then paid the price.
That's it. That's a pity, though. I mean, these kind of things happens, and you can see, guys, that defending comes everything to small added details. That's all. So when you train with your mates, remember, I tried first to do the big strokes to understand what's going on, then aim to the utmost detail you can to outperform the missile. That's all. It all comes when you are to this kind of level. It all comes down to small details, and that's something I know. Me myself, just being a newbie in this situation, in this kind of format, I know I cannot even see all the small details, and that's something very interesting to keep on learning. And that's why I love this, being a caster for all this tournament. You get to see everything.
So I think what happens next is up north, Fallen is going to get 2 kills. Breeze and 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐄𝐒 survive to the end. So I think Dormouse and Dizzy will die, I think, to Fallen. One of them will kill 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐓𝐿𝐿, and then that happens within about 10 seconds, all those 3 kills, something silly like that.
Okay, let us check. I'm checking here because I'm very interested to see the situation. As in Knight, just send 2 120s to our Breeze, but Breeze is notching and is managing to use the terrain masking a bit, just enough, so those 2 120s go to the ground.
Terrain.
Yeah, and this, I mean, this is just 2 miles out, Fox 3 that is tracking though. No, it's not tracking. Sorry, it did start tracking, but lose the track here very fast, and that's why he is still alive.
I really thought that AMRAAM was going to track onto Breeze.
Yeah.
When I saw Breeze turning in.
Yeah, I mean, he's just out way there, and
and that's a great covering shot, by the way. The risk of team kill aside, which is great, it's not insignificant. Breeze's recommit is probably the more questionable bit. Comms again is probably the situation, but Kit puts in the missiles, gets Knight, and then now we're back again to, was it 4 on ETF side and 5 on 104? So they're still in the game at this point.
Yes.
They didn't get that first kill, but they've managed to pull it back to a point where it's not all lost yet.
Yeah, at least it's manageable enough, at least, and that's the thing in this kind of situation. Okay, but here there are many missiles flying around. Okay, now is when they start to go down everything fast.
Fallen gets kills on, I think, Dormouse and Dizzy, and I think Dormouse's Phoenix's track onto 𝐋𝐈𝐿𝐿, so we get 3 kills in a very quick succession.
Yeah, I say this 120 from Fallen just 5 miles out. This fight is way closer than I'm comfortable with. I mean, I'm used to fight at around mile 10, mile 8 top, but mile 5? Come on, guys, that's something I cannot even think of. How can I survive these kind of fights right now? I cannot even understand how you survive.
I think, to be fair, again, haven't gone through a bunch of Tacviews this last week for tomorrow's semi-final. Most of the kills, I think, do fall into this kind of knife edge territory. And if you imagine in public server 1v1, both aircraft come in and they launch at 10 miles, and they never really kill each other when they defend. If you've got 2 pilots of kind of equal caliber, it's all then about who recommits first, and then by that stage you're actually really drawing in the range. So you start getting into this sort of, again, knife edge territory. And in this sort of situation, I think Dormouse is foxing on 𝐋𝐈𝐿𝐿. So Fallen kind of gets away with being close, but yeah, it's back to this is a real high PK.
Yeah, I mean, and this missile from Fallen is tracking DC, and did connect this one. Oh, this is interesting. So Fallen here, this came with the clutch, sending 120.
I suspect it's going to be TWS, but it could have been a Mad Dog on one of them.
I mean,
Fallen's
even
in chat. I'd love to hear it for sure.
yeah, I mean, but I actually this search it can be either be RWS or TWS because it's just when it's off the rail, it's going to be active entirely, just at this out
True,
start.
actually, yeah. That close it will be.
Yeah, but even so, it says something about Fallen ability to change. I mean, I'm going to play this up in real time, okay? This is real time. So now he's just decided send out 120 toward DC, and he's just in this moment, in just a few seconds, managed to lock.
5 seconds.
Yeah, managed to lock Dormouse here and send a 120 towards him. That says something about the ability of Fallen comfortable. Being comfortable in his airplane, and that's something you all guys should know, that you have to be very comfortable in your airplane to be able to survive these kind of fights. Yeah, this is saying that he sorry mate sorry, this is now saying that she thought this missile she did manage to no, not the one, sorry, this second one, she thought she masked this missile with the terrain. But of course, the missile was way too high, and that's why it keep on tracking towards her.
Yeah, possibly the first one certainly got defeated. Whether it's fully not or just otherwise defeated.
Okay, and
yeah, so you're looking at between that first shot onto 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐒, it's like 26:56, and within I don't know about 30 seconds, maybe less.
Yeah.
Actually, is less. Yeah, it's probably more about 15 seconds. There are 3 kills.
And
that's why we were so stunned watching it, going, hang on, everything's just happened.
Yeah,
and we haven't a clue.
Dormouse is saying, we didn't see him on data link either. I saw the 2 in front that I fired on. Okay, so I assume these 2 just fall upon just being very close pop-up contacts, so that's why it was hard for him to track these 2 down. I mean, but
54 Charlies, by the way, from Dormouse.
Yeah. But you can see here that both, no, not both, oh, what a pity, only one of them did track and hit. Only this one hit that did launch to, this first one was tracking though towards Maverick, but only this one did hit 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐒 here, while trying to defend that one. And this one, you can see here that it's still, no, it lost track over there. Here was tracking, but in this situation it lost track entirely. And just flying by, nothing comes from it. What a pity. I mean, we've seen that Maverick in the first round came with a clutch and just saved the first round together with Spade in both flanks. And in this second round, I think they both of them didn't do that much. But it says that one of 4 teams is, even if in this first round we saw both Spade and Maverick shine, it's not heavily dependent on them. To me, it shows that they work as a team and they have a very good level overall, and that's something very, very nice to see, though.
100% a Liberator, and you know, I'm more familiar with the 104th Squadron, given I fly mostly on the 104th, than I am with the other pilots in the competition. And I can say from first-hand experience, the depth of talent and skill and the skill level of the 104th roster is high all round. So all of the pilots here are of very high caliber. You know, there's never going to be a situation where they're heavily dependent on 1 or 2 pilots. Any one of those could go on a rampage and, you know, turn around.
That's perfect. For reals. Okay, did we lose any more kills over here? No, this is 𝐋𝐈𝐒𝐒 that we know that was defended. Kid sending a 120 here toward Fallen, putting him on defensive situation. We have an exchange of missiles here between Spade and Breeze, 7 miles out missile. Yes, but it's easily defended by both of them with the mountains. And this
so I think Breeze is the last to die. I think 𝐋𝐒 ends up being the next kill. And 𝐋𝐒 takes 2 with him. I think it's Fallen and...
You think so?
Oh, it's not Fallen, no, it's Mogas and Spade he gets, because Fallen was Fallen and Maverick landed.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow.
Spade and Mogas.
So here we see Bravo just sending out those missiles out there. One from, I mean, he's like, okay, I have too many missiles. I'm going to send one for each one of you guys. That's it. One for Maverick, one for Spade, one for Mogas. That's it. The second one didn't try.
One for the Stratosphere.
Yeah.
2 for the Stratosphere. Rams for everybody.
Hey, one's for everyone, even for the Sun, or even for the Outwest. You take one, you take one, you take other one. But managed to do a trade-off here at least. And this, no, not even a trade-off. Oh, what a good kill from Kid this situation. I mean, he's in a very tight spot right now, and he gets killed. Yeah, he does, but he managed to kill 2 members from 104 in this tight situation.
Yeah.
You know, that's a
I think
very good.
It's a good result in the sense of you've got 2 for your 1 loss, but in the 4v2,
Yeah.
Dying like that didn't help because Breeze was Scosh, and I think had 2 heaters left, and I may have fired 1 already, so may only have 1 heater left. You know, we've seen a lot of Jets do wonderful things with heaters in this competition. In particular, some of the Tomcats, when they run out of Phoenixes and they kind of loiter for a while and sneak in close, they can do surprising things. So you don't rule them out, certainly, but while Maverick and I think Fallen 2 both had AMRAMs left, it was always going to be, you know, the 104th winning in that situation. Yeah, barring some minor miracle or excellent, you know, turn of events.
Yeah. So guys, this is the end of Tacview analysis. First and foremost, thank you guys for the new followers. Thank you, Tempest, for the 5 gifted subs. I know there was some cheers. Full Metal Cookie, thank you for the cheers, mate. Also, and many more things. I'm pretty sure I've lost over there. many things happening today, and that's something I'm very thankful for you all, guys. It's been a blast doing this competition. If everything comes into how I would love to see things, maybe, and just maybe, next week I'll be doing the final match between today's winner, 104th, and the other will be decided tomorrow in Titanfire. I was going to butcher your name, by the way. Titanfire.
Not for the first time tonight.
Not the first time, not today, not the only other day. Tomorrow we'll be having Titanfire match. Please remember me at what time and who was going to be the participant for tomorrow's fight.
Sure, that was a lovely segue until it nearly wasn't. Second semi-final match tomorrow is between Phoenix Task Force, PTF, and 𝐷, the Art of Warfare. The match itself will start at 1900 Zulu. I'll be streaming it. I will hopefully be going live between 20 and 30 minutes before that. I intend doing a little bit of pre-game analysis to track through both teams' path to the semi-finals and a little bit of information and statistics around what they've done so far. Hopefully, will be interesting. I'm optimistic it will be, and people will enjoy it. But I'll be keen to hear feedback afterwards, also. So have a look for that. I'd say probably about 1830 Zulu to 1840 Zulu, that kind of time span. Stream will go up, and then the match itself will hopefully kick off around 1900 Zulu.
Yeah, just let me just do a brief pause. I'm going to bring out the timetable for tomorrow's match, so all you guys can check it out here on the stream. And in the meantime, if you don't mind, Titanfire, I was going to butcher fast and get the name. Please paste your Twitch stream over the chat so the folks can know where to find you for tomorrow's match. Sure
thing. Let me get that into chat.
So this is the timetable for tomorrow's match. We have Phoenix Task Force against TAW, the Art of Warfare, at 19 Zulu, if everything comes as is going to be expected. And seems like, because 104th has won this match, it's going to be a change of the caster for the final match. That will be discussed between 64th Squadron and the guys of the organization to discuss who will be the one doing the final match altogether. So guys, thank you for coming up here. Titanfire, thank you for reals for joining me up today. And I hope that tomorrow's stream goes as well as I know it will go.
Thank you, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure this evening, and for all the streams that we've done together, both on my channel and yours. It's been a lot of fun doing TACT as a streamer who hasn't covered competitive matches before, but certainly does a lot of DCS. I think it's just been a lot of fun, and it's been really enjoyable seeing how the streams themselves and the formats have evolved over the course of the competition. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again, you deserve a lot of credit, my friend, for raising the bar for each of us streamers and actually bringing in new and innovative things, the multiple points of view in the cams, the interview format. It's all good, and I think it just adds to the experience, and I hope the people in chat will agree with that.
Now you are trying to make me blush. I mean, I was trying before, and now you're trying to make me blast this time. No, but for real, mate, thank you. I mean, this, as I said, also I will say, every one of us brings something new to the table, and we all can learn from everyone and just make this tournament be better for everyone's. So that's perfect. So guys, I will cut the mission here. Thank you guys for joining up. I hope to see you on finals. I'll check with 64 guys and you know who will do the covering. And if I do Titanfire, I want you by my side, by the way.
Would be an honor.
Perfect. So guys, see you hopefully next week. Stay tuned and remember tomorrow's fight between PTF and TAW on Titanfire stream. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye bye.
Thanks, guys.